is. This guy's got a gun. I'm just firing. I'm just putting him down.
It depends. The muscle bust. He was very adamant about chem lights being used in some sort of proactive way.
Wait,
he was
not
like,
shooting people?
No. You can shoot whoever the fuck you want. He was saying chem lights. Like he's like, when you enter a room, you should drop a chem light at the threshold so that your teammates know that you're in there.
Gotcha. Yeah, true.
So shut up, nerd.
He's so tactical and smart, you know?
Yeah. Is this guy dead, or did you just shoot this guy in the asshole?
What?
He's dead.
I've killed everybody I've ran across except for this guy because it was real bad aim.
You know, I think you can like.
Okay, I got baited. There's a bad man and a dock worker. Don't kill the dock worker. He's just blue collar man.
Where? No, they're both bad guys. Hold on. Oh fuck! No! Oh! Help!
You all right over there, sport?
No, I'm dying. I require assistance.
I'm flanking him.
They hit my arteries.
Down on your goddamn knees.
Oh, there's another one. I panicked.
Yeah, there was a lot.
I didn't know there was two. I panicked.
I got promoted to squad leader.
I panicked because I'm dead. I panicked.
Behind every tragedy is an opportunity.
I saved you, dock worker. I felt like a hero for just a second.
Oh, that was just a regular unarmed man I killed.
That's what I'm saying. He's never gonna collect his union check. No.
No. Oh shit. Hold on. Where'd that fucking guy go? Wasn't he right here? Eat lead, murderer. Hold on. Take care of this guy real quick.
Talk. Suspect is down, requesting Thames.
Talk to entry team. Copy that, entry team. Notifying
Wow.
Oh! I'm pretty sure I just heard like a dog bark or something. I think there's some dog action over here.
You know what to do. You know what that means.
Wow, a stream.
He's still fucking going, dude. Stop. Damn, dude! Let's pull like a Shaun of the Dead on this guy.
Element to talk. Suspect is down.
Dude, he's yapping.
Sam, we are about to have our
He's
baby.
just
Also, you can
screaming.
watch porn on
Yeah.
Twitch now.
Stop. Stop dying so badly.
Okay, all right, I see you.
I just did a Cartman-style manipulation to get someone's contact info. You proud greater than.
Okay. We're good.
Entry team to talk.
I just don't have that heart to kill. I'm just not built for it. I held my fire because I thought it was a dock worker. I should have just sprayed into the crowd.
You should have killed him, yeah. I think
should've
when
did it.
there's this many armed people, I think the cops are a little bit more,
Ball.
Oh, wait. See a guy right there?
Police, hands up.
I go on leave for a small amount of time for that. I'll probably get paid vacation. That's what I'm saying. I gotta start role playing a little bit better. I'm not thinking like a 12.
Oh, no.
Yeah, see?
What? He had like a guy had like a ballistics vest or something.
You hate to fucking see it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me pop back at the station and see if I can get myself on one of them shields.
Damn. Who's that?
Yeah, the shields are very, very important.
Yeah, that makes sense. Shield seems like a smart play.
Okay. Hold on. I probably should do like... What are you doing? It's like some sort of muting? Yeah. Hold on. I have a key for that because of a lethal company.
Hey, yo, where'd you get that shield, though?
Go over here to the desk. The desk of armaments. And you can modify your loadout. And let's do a place that isn't like some weird-ass The Departed ending type area. Although I think because you're host, you're the one that can pick. But pick like some place where I don't feel bad about having collateral damage. I don't want to kill dock workers. You go to like a junkie's house or something. Yeah. Yeah, some kid's been throwing rocks on a playground. I want to go there and settle the score.
Yeah.
I've seen the end of Step Brothers. Those kids are vicious sometimes.
True. Dude, have I ever told you? So, you know Step Brother, that exact scene, right? And there's there's the bigger kid and then the smaller one with black hair that pushes Will Ferrell's face into dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
I've known that guy. His name's Logan Manus. I've known him for I've met him on World of Warcraft.
Really?
Yeah, he applied for our guild like way back in the day, and because those guild applications used to be so cringe. But on the
he was like, I made Will Ferrell eat shit.
Yeah, literally in the little cool facts about you, he was like, I'm the guy that pushed Will Ferrell's face into dog shit, and we were like, prove it. And yeah, he's a bodybuilder and a fireman now, and he's jacked. He would fuck Will Ferrell up.
That's funny.
Crazy,
he had his comeuppance. He's like, you beat my ass at the end,
yeah,
you know, but then I grew up, you know.
Where's the shield at, by the way? I don't see it for some reason. Is it
It's
on?
it's like instead of a door knocker or like a little camera on a stick, you get the shield. So it's like down in your. It's not like a main weapon or a secondary weapon. It's like a.
Oh, where the mirror gun is. I see tactical shield. I got it.
Yeah, you can get the battering ram, a breech shotgun, but that tactical shield is just.
No, that's pretty sauce.
It's just absolutely goated.
The MCX is goated. They're saying. Homies saying.
Yeah, gun nerds will always say shit like that, dude. Go with your heart, all right? I'm going with this big ass revolver because it looks cool.
That is pretty cool. I kind of want a shotgun, but then I got to get up in their face, you know?
You really don't, dude. This game relies on realism, okay?
Yeah. So I can dust them from like 20 yards.
So just like in real life, shotguns are kind of overpowered when you don't care about the collateral damage and how many pets and stuff you murder in the process.
That sounds like me.
Yeah.
I feel like I just want the Pompey, dude. The 870 Pompey. Give me that. Give me that. Ooh.
I'm gonna be sitting in the evidence room real quick or whatever next to Donut Guy. I'm gonna be chilling here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna mute and talk to my chat.
Oh yeah. What are you talking about? Huh? Your pottery and how I have the abomination jar. And that
yeah.
So much.
I'm sorry. That was by the way, your cup was weird because I made it and it was substantially larger than it turned out. Like that one had some real shrinkage for some reason.
Interesting.
I put it in the oven. I swear to God, it came out like 40% smaller. The most I've seen them shrink is like 10%. That one it really got tiny.
I use it to feed my cats. It's like the little scoop for their food. It's perfect.
I did not know. As a creator, I feel like I have some say in what it's used for. It can't be a cat food scoop.
You absolutely
can't use it to feed a. I'm not even a cat guy. I don't even like cats.
What do you want me to do with it? You want me to drink out of it? That abomination?
Sit it up on a shelf or something. I don't even. I would rather
break it.
I would rather it just collect dust than feed a fucking cat. Honestly, I'm not.
Every
cat person I've ever met is straight up on the spectrum. Okay, you do not feed cats with my cup.
Okay,
right?
well,
I'm gonna go talk to chat. All right, you go pick whatever you want. Fuck you.
You're coping.
This fucking piece of shit, dude. Anyways, how you guys doing? You guys doing good? Yeah, this is a 1.0 update of Cop Game. Real fun game. Did you see the new TOS changes? Art Channel's going hard right now. Yeah, I hope Shadbase is gonna be drawing lewd and crude, baby. Lewd and crude. They probably won't let him go as hard as Shadbase goes, but maybe he'll draw some teddies, you know. What I don't like about that whole I'm not like a hardcore coomer or anything. What I don't like about that like Morgue Pie getting banned is like I didn't see no nip, you know. And so they were like, this is based off of, you know, is it sexualized? It's like, that's so subjective. It should just be like concrete in TOS, like nipple or no nipple. Okay. Do you see the penis or no penis? You know, it shouldn't be like, is the light hitting the titty in such a way that it makes my cock hard? Well, fuck, there's plenty of ladies out there with cleavage going on, making my cock hard, you know? There's no nipple involved. I just don't like that subjective aspect, and I don't like to see anybody get banned because then that means it's closer up the ladder to the point where I would get banned. You know, that's just my little thought on it. Yeah, no nip, no ban. You know, it's like if the glove don't fit, must have quit type thing. Hold on a second. Are you gonna pick a place or?
I did. I actually did. By the way.
Oh, I see
Yeah,
it in the top right.
Yeah, no, it's
A
that's really
farm
cool.
this time? I'll take it. Yeah, let's do it. Hey, how do you feel about that whole morgue pie getting banned thing?
Like what specifically? Like, do you want like?
Okay, well, first of all, we all know her aim was to get banned. Okay, like that was
Or
obvious.
yeah, constantly pushing the line, right?
Yeah,
Like,
because then when they get banned, it just gives them publicity and stuff, and then the OnlyFans makes more money, obviously. But
yeah, I
like,
feel
if
like
there's no
it's-
nipple. Like, do you think there should be no ban?
Well, okay. So first, I think that it's not somebody wanting to just get banned directly. I think that it's if they do, they know it's not necessarily that bad of a thing. I guess is how I should phrase that.
Reporting.
And then second, dude, I think that again, it's ultimately Twitch's fault no matter what. Because they're the ones that put out the gray areas. They're the ones that don't do things specifically.
Gray.
So great. Twitch is
gray.
notorious for just being dog shit about.
Yeah, that's
and
what
the
I was
bans and
saying in
everything.
chat. I was like, they
Yeah.
should just have it in concrete, just like nipple or no nipple. Like if you
Yeah,
see a
they-
nipple, boom, ban.
They're
That's
dog
it.
shit about it. And then also it's like if there's age verification and better restrictions to not have minors see that, I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't care at all.
This is like the one platform where they shouldn't be beholden to advertisers. This is like every streamer is propped up by their audience on here monetarily. So like you could get away with anything on this platform, you know?
No, for sure.
YouTube,
Well,
on the other hand, if they got titties rocking around everywhere, all of a sudden like Coca-Cola wants to pull out. But
it's definitely way more strict. The thing that I
more
didn't
strict than it
realize
should
that
be.
I've become more sympathetic to is after talking to like my female content creator friends, I understand their aspect of like it does breed people to be inappropriate, right? In other places because of it being more of an accepted standard that it causes they do
oh,
get a
what like if
fallout
you're just
from it.
trying to be like a regular chick on the
Yeah,
platform?
it does. Yeah, it leads to
And
demonstrable harm.
it's like,
from
wait,
a
you're just a
fallout.
chick wearing a t-shirt?
Yeah, it's like, where's
You're
the
supposed to be
shit?
playing RuneScape with
Where's
your
the
tits
shit?
out.
Yeah, exactly. So there is a demonstrable harm and like fallout to content creators like that I do have sympathy
But
for.
the internet's just a dangerous place for women to begin with. They're
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're-
for sure.
they're like unicorns out here.
But
So
yeah, it's
rare.
an unfortunate situation that I think is 100% Twitch's fault. Oh, okay, this bitch got a fucking gun.
I didn't expect such a cerebral response from
Yo,
you. Yeah,
Granny got a gun.
Granny?
Yeah, straight grandma
Where?
with a gun. I'm gonna put her down. I'm eating rounds for the homie. She's right around this corner. Light her
To
ass
the right?
up.
To the left?
Yep, to the right. To the right.
Roger. Get down! I want to see hands!
Where you at, Granny?
Granny with a gun.
Dude, she ran. She
Yes,
ran.
bitch.
Granny? Whoa! Granny's got.
Are you good? Are you good?
She whipped. She whipped on me. Yeah.
Damn.
Ow.
Oh.
Oh fuck.
Are you dead?
Yeah, I'm gone. Did I just get taken out by a geriatric fucking couple?
I can't see shit.
I can't see anything either, to be honest.
I don't even know where I'm getting shot from.
Another granny! It's an old lady in a bathrobe! I can't see. He just got fucked up by a lady in a bathrobe. Okay.
Okay.
Restart that mission.
Hold on. I'm gonna run to the station real quick because I thought I wanted like a long range. No, I need
Yeah.
something close range.
Yeah,
I need
yeah.
something. Yeah, I'm going back to the
And then
shot.
we're going back in with flashbangs.
blast
We're
that
going to
granny.
blast their. I hope they have their hearing aids
I'm a
jacked
dude.
all the
I'm
way
a-
up, because we are going to fuck them up.
Officer Michaels, please call death.
that just.
Please call death.
I see. I got too much heart for this dude. I saw the granny and I was like, don't do it.
Grandma, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? I'm just fucking putting her down, dude. 100%. No questions asked. Early grave.
Okay, I'm definitely keeping the 357. I feel like if you're gonna kill an old lady, that's what you use.
Yeah, I'm
You know,
going shoddy.
I'm not
straight-
pulling
I'm
punches
bucking her
just
ass.
because she's old. You know.
Yeah, I'm just straight bucking this ass. 100%.
Then we're definitely gonna do some sort of submachine gun. Are you going shoddy? Did you say you're going
Yeah,
shoddy?
I got the pumpy.
Okay.
And then I think I'm gonna run the 5.7 on the hip.
Definitely, I'm kind of feeling like a Stargate SG-1 vibe. I'm gonna go with the P90, gun of the future, to kill the generation of the past. It's all coming together with a laser pointer. Yeah, we got this.
All right. Yeah, now we're cooking. Things are different. Okay, we're going back to the farm, and shit's different. Yeah, that's
Ready.
like my general stance on that shit. Is like Twitch needs to be more consistent because they cause issues like this and continuously because of their gray areas, and they just need to. They want to have their cake and eat it too, while being which is super unfortunate because again, you do have like demonstrable harm that happens to people because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like if it was more clearly stated that like this was accepted, this was going to be a thing, then creators would at least have the chance to know that information up front, so they would get to like scale if they or like weigh in if they want to fucking actually deal with that kind of fallout while that being on the platform. But they don't, and they never take a hard stance, which leads to this shit, which is cringe as fuck.
Talk reporting.
But
Entry team.
again,
Suspects
get your bag.
in the area and are refusing to
That's my
cooperate.
goat.
Move in.
Short and sweet. Get your bag. That's my goat.
Like Willard, I think just joined on his own volition.
Oh, I'm
He's
in a
just
friends
in here.
lobby. Do you have him on your friends?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Okay.
Willard is a homie.
Willard do be on the friends list.
He do be.
Yeah. I'm just rushing in.
Actually, now that I think about it, I do think I told him we were gonna stream.
Oh, Granny!
Not stream, but play.
Oh my god, dude, she rips. Jesus Christ, bro. I need you. Quit worrying about Willard.
I'm sorry. I'm putting an old lady in some handcuffs.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
Standing by for trailers.
Oh, that she could shoot through this. Oh man, I'm in danger.
Where are you?
I'm surrounded. I'm dead. Oh no, dude.
Damn, you went in there. I can't see shit.
I didn't know I was going that deep. I thought it was like last time. I didn't know I was going that deep. See, you got to figure it out.
Dude, I just shot this granny like 7 times with a 357. Oh! Fuck.
Failed your objective. Collect what you can. Report to Dog for debrief.
Fuck.
Yeah, this seems harder than the Doc
Yeah.
Runners.
Yeah.
She straight has a fucking. She had a fucking. I don't know, some giant ass round that just tore my shit to pieces. All right, one more go. Come on, we got this.
Yeah. Just hit restart.
That was Willard. Fuck that shit up.
Okay, first of all, there's a guy in chat that's like, breaching a house? We better separate. That was Lettuce that pulled that fucking Scooby-Doo shit.
Okay.
He was like, let's split up, gang, and then just ran off.
I'm a man of action. I'm a gunner. Okay. You know what I mean? I'm in there, dude. Also, secondly, don't backseat SWAT team. Okay. Go watch
Yeah.
go watch our live PD video and shut the fuck up. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't need to fucking listen to you. Okay. Fucking Christ, dude. Some fucking 12 with a receding hairline trying to tell me how to play my video game. Okay. Fucking
We
back it
got
up.
Willard now, though.
Yeah, true. Willard's a gunner.
To cooperate. Move in. Remember your ROE.
Okay, I went straight and then to the right in there, and shit got frosty. So
Okay, go in the garage again. That's where I went last time, and then to the right there's a door, and there was just a lady standing there.
okay, yeah. See, I did this last time. I walked through and got fucking.
Hands on your head.
I thought this is where I went.
Down
Okay.
on your knees.
Yeah.
Put your hands
Oh, you hear him?
Yep.
Get in there. Oh! After you, Willard.
Shot. I got her. Okay. Okay. Nobody.
Willard kind of just watched that happen, so that's on him. Where'd you get hit from? Oh, Christ.
Dude, my game lagged and the frames were like, it was rough. It was rough. It was definitely a technical error and an issue.
Oh! I think he just... There we go. We're cooking.
Act within them.
This is such a beautiful place. Like, why are they so angry? I just don't feel like I could be this pissed off and this radicalized if I had a beautiful house like this. Look at this double-sided fireplace. Are you kidding me?
Element to talk. One civilian unresponsive.
Talk to Element. Roger, entry team. Notifying medical.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to stun and stuff. You're so good at being a Fed. It's crazy.
Fuck
It's
you,
just-
bitch.
Oh, was that a frag? Okay. All right. I see how it's done. Okay.
Yeah. You're doing this all wrong. Oh, she's still alive.
Dude, she's screeching.
Hey! Stay down! She's resisting.
Hands up, asshole!
I think there's somebody on the other side of this door.
Oh man. I'm gonna pretend I'm you.
Talk. We got a dead civilian here.
This is Talk.
I got fucking
Roger,
popped.
entry
Yeah.
team. Notifying medical.
On the ground now! Hands up! Down on your knees! Hands up! Do it now!
Man, you just be breaching and shit.
Yeah, I kind of got into a
You get
flow
it?
state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're kind of fucking on a circadian rhythm type shit. You're going crazy.
What the fuck is going on in here?
Talk. Collecting evidence.
Is that Willard? Oh, hey. We are not the darkness thine hast endured. Ye are the light that refused to surrender. What is the conspiracy here? Let's see what this plot is. Dennis Noble.
Noble?
Got woman drunk at a bar. Forced himself on her and beat her when she said no. Raped her in his truck behind the bar. Note, has a fetish for women in heels, so we can use this to lure. These aren't bad guys. Like, these are just vigilantes.
These are oh wait, unpack that. The people we're killing. I thought
Yes,
you meant that
yeah.
guy. I
These.
was like-
It seems like they're.
I
It's
was
like a
damn.
look. No, they're a clique of women that are trying to like lure rapists back to the
No,
house.
you're right.
and then-
yeah, they're murdering them. Yeah, no, for sure.
Big Dick Rick frequently
Yeah, okay.
visits the
All right.
neon
You had me
nightclub
fucked up
downtown.
for a second there. You had
Huge
me out-
ego.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree. We are killing the good guys that are hunting the bad guys. Apparently, that's a little
Yeah.
fucked up.
But we're cops, so we're probably. My character is probably Big Dick Rick.
Yeah, you got assigned to this, and you're like, I got to cover
Yeah.
my own mission.
Oh shit! They're after Big Dick Rick.
That's
Whoever
crazy.
that guy
I'm-
is,
I'm
we'll get him
hilarious.
after we finish getting her.
No, dude.
And then now I throw a Molotov into the evidence room, their little conspiracy room.
Yeah, like untraceable.
Yeah, I have no idea who they were after.
High ground to talk.
It's like that fucking. Surely you saw the Twitter video of that house blowing up when they
Yes.
tried to get a search warrant for it. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
That was
Talk report.
in Florida.
We have one suspect
Was it?
down.
I don't know. I think so.
I have no idea.
No, that wasn't in Florida. I'm sorry.
I say, I feel
Whoa,
like I
look
would've
at this
known if it was
person.
in
Is that an
Florida.
actual person? No. Okay. That was like someone hiding. Is that where I was getting tagged from? MPL.
Element to talk. One suspect is down and alive.
Ooh, down and alive. She's playing dead, dude.
Medical assistance is standing by.
Aw, she must have bled out. Uh-oh. I think my stream just shit the bed.
Yeah, there was somebody in my chat earlier that was like, "Can you tell Sam his stream is messed up?"
I told you, dude. I told you I don't think I'm capable.
I forgot.
I don't think I'm capable. I'm not a big enough man for this game.
Crazy, because your PC is better than mine.
My PC's it's
Unless your
cantankerous.
processor dog shit somehow. But I can't believe I refuse to believe you would do that.
My PC's got a mind of its own. Is Willard dead?
I think so. I haven't heard him in a while. He's either dead or doing God's work.
My lord, art thou dead?
That's tough. That's tough. That's real tough.
Oh shit.
I learned a lot there, though, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can't spray the pistol like macro speed fast because it will shoot to the ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick around on this one. Okay. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna flashbang. I took notes. Okay.
Copy that.
Talk reporting.
Provide cover.
Entry team, suspects have taken refuge in the area and are refusing to cooperate. Move in.
All right, so I think the key here with these ladies is... Wait, do you want to choose a different entry point, or are you just like, is your heart set on that one?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, how to do that, but we can. Oh, you
So-
mean at the beginning?
No, yeah, like just like a different,
All right,
a different
let's
way
go
to
through
walk
the-
in.
Well, I feel like the main door is probably bad.
Well, yeah, I mean, like if you're gonna defend your house, the first place you're gonna
Yeah, it's
defend
that
is the main
fucking
door.
first door. Yeah, no, I get that.
Also, I think there's something to do with like you can like sneak in. You don't have to like go guns blazing and go, wake up, everybody, hands up. Like you can just
We
kind of
stealth
like,
it?
yeah, like I'm peeking the front door right now, and I'm easing my way in.
Willard's got a big ass flashlight on. You're bright as hell. Yeah, I hear you getting engaged right now. Are you good?
Yeah, my sneaking method didn't really work. Oh fuck.
Is there a quick button for flashes, or do I just have to manually throw them?
Hit G, baby.
Of course.
Yeah. I can't see shit.
Oh,
What are
they're
these-
down. They're down. They're down. Willard's got him on the ground.
Okay.
Willard's got him on the ground.
Keep your hands up.
What, did he hit him with a fucking flash or something?
Ah, I fucking diced a granny. She's
Boom!
fucking done
Put her
for-
face in it, Willard!
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
One suspect.
Oh, blew her hair off.
Strange.
Work
That was awesome.
Keep it up.
Oh yeah, they got shotguns and shit. Yeah, she's dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick this door open. This is the next one right here.
We're going here. All right.
Get in there.
Oh, she had a huge gun. She had a huge
Yeah,
gun.
drop a
She had
gun. Drop a
huge-
gun.
Oh, she had a huge gun. Oh no! I
Is that on
Jesus
me?
drop. We're good. Everybody's chilling.
Civilian is
Ooh, that was a
I got a
civilian.
gun.
Negative
No,
350.
What civilian has a gun like that? That was an armed civilian, dangerous, out of their mind, not in a mental state. I could've
someone
swore
in
I
here,
heard
I
a
think?
bark.
Oh, I could have swore I heard somebody like breathing.
talk. Bagging.
Okay, all right.
Tommy McCall, stadium groundskeeper.
As far as I'm concerned, nobody in this operation is innocent.
Worked as a school janitor. Fuck.
Damn.
That's affirmative.
This guy? Damn. What school janitor looks like that, though? The jawline, dude. The dimples.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, wait, or is it this guy? Because that guy looks like a janitor.
This guy looks like Joaquin Phoenix from The Master, if you've seen that movie.
I have not.
What? That movie's great because it shows him
Master, I
in the Pacific Theater, World War II, and he's just on the beach jacking off into the ocean because like there's nothing else to do.
So he's just on the. All right.
Yeah,
I'm there.
On the ground now.
Also didn't kill that civilian.
that was pretty good. Yeah,
That was pretty
I was
good.
impressed
Yeah.
by that. I was
Yeah,
impressed
you
by
like
your
that?
restraint.
That was good.
By the way, once Willard gets her handcuffed, we can always circle back.
Yeah,
you know?
true. Clean up the. Just
There's
in case.
witnesses. She probably heard you kill that other lady, so.
Yeah, she's upset. She's feeling petty.
You know, I kicked that door, it didn't go through. That I think that's a sign. Do not go that way.
Oh. Nah, I ain't scared. Oh wait, no, we went this way.
Yeah, but there's still. We went through like the middle of the house. There's still. And by the way, the ladies they do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the ladies do navigate on their own throughout the house, so like they can come up behind you and stuff.
Hands on your head. Move. Hands on your head. Do it. Get down and keep your hands up.
Did we go through here?
Which way? This main door? This
Yeah,
is
I'm going out to the greenhouse out here.
Back it up, Willard. Back it up. Back it up. You got in my way, dude. You almost got me killed. What are you doing, Willard? We're a team.
Diet
I
Coke.
had my gun on single shot, and I am now fucked up.
I got you. I got your back. I'm gonna bust it open. I'm gonna dice her up. Where's she at?
She's dead.
Oh,
I
you got her? Okay.
Yeah. Ugh. And look at that. Take notes. She had a gun.
Yep.
She
obviously.
was a combatant. Yeah.
Just like.
Take notes. Never. Complacency kills. Okay.
I got. Where's my team? I'm securing.
Constant vigilance. Have you not read Harry Potter? Constant vigilance.
The fucking granny.
Constant vigilance.
Dude, that was so fucking Hufflepuff
Report.
of you.
Yeah.
insane.
Hufflepuff of me? Are you kidding me? I'm Ravenclaw through and through. Okay.
Yeah, you wish.
Yeah.
You fucking wish, dude.
I think I have the wit and the charm
yeah?
to be a
You think so?
Ravenclaw.
Killed.
You're a fucking dork. You're a Gryffindor.
Okay, you don't mean that.
Yeah, I mean that.
I'm Slytherin.
Slytherin, nah.
They're the bad guys. The bad guys are cool, and I'm Slytherin for sure.
Dorks that get no pussy goes straight into Hufflepuff and Gryffindor.
You don't mean
Those
that.
are the
You don't
two.
mean that, dude. You don't mean that, dude.
You're going up
Me
or
and
down.
McGonagall would be, so she's,
Wait, you gotta make McGonagall bite her lower lip?
that's what I'm saying. She'd be McGonagall on my precious steed. You know what I'm saying?
McGargle. You call me that once, it's fucking over. Willard.
Yeah, well, Willard's dead.
Oh, right through the.
Okay.
Okay, guys, for the record, 3/4 inch plywood is not bulletproof. Okay, bullets go right through that thing.
Okay, we're going back to the station. Yeah, I don't ever know the difference between Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. I feel like my Harry Potter knowledge.
I feel like Hufflepuff is for like the kids that look at the ground when they're talking to people. You know what I mean? The people that look like they're carrying invisible suitcases when they walk. You know, like no arm movement.
I play Magic the Gathering, right? So
Yeah.
it might be the spot for me.
Ravenclaw, on the other hand, I feel like that's like the kids that smoke cigarettes outside, but are also like have high GPAs.
Yeah, I get. Yeah,
You know,
Yeah, but you got
the art students or something.
Yeah, you drinking IPAs and you think they're cool.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Okay. So do we go
Gryffindors
back there?
are like, actually, that's Gryffindor.
Go on.
Yeah, I'm ready to go back in with the exact same loadout.
I've never once. I'm Hufflepuff. Fuck Gryffindor.
Actually.
I did say every game was a spreadsheet once.
Yeah, I remember that. That was your
That's
fucking
pretty
Hermione
close,
arc.
Yeah, it's true, dude. You're like, I don't care about this meta stuff. I'm just trying to have fun. I was like, that's not a thing. Where'd I go here? Modify? Yeah.
You got those backwards? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, really? Is Hufflepuff cool? Are we cool?
It's just the name Hufflepuff. Some guy said Hufflepuff is future drug addicts and alcoholics.
Okay, yeah, I'm there.
Hufflepuff, maybe, yeah, it might radiate like raised by a single mom type energy.
I'm there. My dad's dead. I'm there.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow, you just brought the stream down to a screeching halt. Thanks.
yeah. What,
Thanks
you
for
scared to die
weaponizing
'cause
your
you're a dad,
grief.
pussy?
Yeah. Thanks for ruining my stream with your dead dad, loser.
You had a parent die. You're in the same club. I sent you a patch, dude.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Yeah. My mom died a cool way, though. Alcoholism.
Yeah, true. I mean, both are killing themselves in a way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. It's just different. Mine was just expedited, via 45, right? It's different.
Oh, wait, never mind. I never thought about it like this. King's Entourage, you said Slytherin is a quest for power.
Dude, you're not Slytherin.
When you frame it like that,
you're not Slytherin, dude.
I kind of like it.
I mean, I'm sure you like it, but let's be real.
If I have to sit in one communal room with fucking not McPoyle, what's that asshole's name? Malfoy?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. I would very quickly uppercut that kid. Throw him in the fireplace.
But he's just the dentist's son that we all hate, right? We're still cool. There's still cool people there, right? There's probably
I'm sure there has to be just like a regular person.
Yeah.
They don't just put one-dimensionally evil people in one house.
I feel like Hufflepuff is probably cooking up that synthesized like LSD on the side.
That's true.
And I'm kind of
I never thought about the drug culture of Hogwarts.
That's what I'm
Hufflepuff
saying,
has probably got some fucking. You want some tabs, bro? Because they were always they were like the horticulturalists, right? So they're probably growing.
For sure.
Oh, these penis envies I've been growing in my dormitory. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm in Hufflepuff. I've changed my. It's funny how like the more we argue, the more we just have come to the initial conclusion that Gryffindor is full of fucking dorks.
Yeah, that nobody wants.
Nobody wants Gryffindor.
Yeah, sure,
he sucks. So what? They got the what's the dude?
Which one?
The guy from
Neville.
Well, Neville Longbottom. Yeah, they got Harry Potter, obviously the little celebrity boy of the wizarding world. Weasley. And then they have Weasley, I don't really care about. What, some poor redheaded kid? They can keep him.
True.
I was gonna say the God, what is that guy's name from those like vampire movies that girls like?
Oh, fucking Cedric Diggory, brother.
Yeah, Cedric Diggory. Yeah,
my boy.
Yeah, Cedric Diggory. He seemed like he was kind of cool.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson. Yeah. Okay, this guy's got a fucking armored vest on. Yeah. Okay, we got Bogues.
Bogues?
Yeah, we got Bogues. Yeah.
Nay.
You and Willard instantly.
Get on the ground now.
You went to the right.
Put your hands up and get down. Get down on your knees, hands up.
I like how we saw he had a vest. We know he has a gun, and we still go, put your hands down.
It might have been a t-shirt. Nope. I diced him up once. Oh, my game crashed. I was putting like rounds in him, and then my game crashed. I put like 5-6 rounds in him, and my game crashed. I'll be back.
Yeah, I lost connection to host after that, but I think I had him on the ropes near the end. Yeah, Hufflepuff probably had the best drugs, and I feel like the female to male ratio in Hufflepuff is probably a lot higher, and I feel like cross school relations were difficult. Like you don't see many Gryffindors dating Slytherins and vice versa, and so I feel like if you're the only dude, that's like the one straight guy that's in theater classes. He may be a dork to everybody else, but he probably slays. He probably slays. Yeah, I think I almost had that guy king. Just a couple more shots. I think I would have had him. When Lettuce invite me, and I'm gonna go get another bevy, if that's okay. You're muted right now, by the way.
God damn it! I invited you. Fucking, you getting a Diet Cokie?
No, I'm drinking cider.
Chief Alvarez,
Oh yeah.
please call switchboard.
Tis the season.
Chief Alvarez, please call switchboard.
Yeah. Wait, are you an eggnog guy before you get your baby?
No,
Oh, okay.
no. Well, I mean, I've never drank it, but I'm not like going out of my way to drink eggnog.
Okay, that's fair. See, I'm lukewarm on it. I don't like go for it.
Do you like it?
I don't like I don't seek it, but I'm not gonna like spit it out.
You know, they say that women that drink eggnog are more likely to drink cum, so.
Was that real? I should
Yeah.
love eggnog then.
Yeah,
That doesn't make any sense.
You better got
Yeah.
eggnog? That's the first thing you said to me as soon as we met. You're like, know it's July, but anybody got eggnog?
That's true. I did say that.
San Diego?
I was like, I'm fucking fiending on this beach for some cum.
Anybody got some nog? I just bring a camelback of eggnog everywhere I go.
Do you remember the first words out of your mouth to me? Because I do.
No.
I do. You looked at me because it was too ego filling for me. You looked at me and you were like, dude, you're jacked. And I was like, all right. He's cool.
I don't.
Easy.
I try not to remember stuff that I say. Like, have you ever seen a recording of you at like any social event?
It's the worst.
I just sometimes I'll just like see a video where I'm in it and I go, I'm not watching that. I'm not in the right headspace to see.
No shot, dude.
A previous me at some point that was live, and in the live moment I go, oh, the things that I say are immediately forgotten. I don't like that you actually remember stuff, and then I really don't like that people have cameras.
Well,
Not
I had
good.
that was a feel like I could remember that because it was like I was just ready at that moment. I was like, all right, okay, I'll let him, I'll get a twit longer going. If GeneralSam wants to act like this, for sure. You came out ferocious, and I respected it. I was like, if there's an off chance Abby's a beard, you know what I'm saying? I seized that opportunity. I carpe diem that for sure.
Is this you or is this Willard?
No, I think you're looking
check
at me.
this out. Don't ever hesitate. Just read this poster on the left.
So
I should
true.
have taken the shot.
I should have taken a shot. This would be hung up here. This is probably a real
Yeah.
poster. They probably found
Don't
us a real
hesitate.
place.
Just because it's a granny.
Yeah.
Shoot
Even if it's
first.
Edward Norton. Don't fucking hesitate. This guy looks
Yeah.
like fucking shitty Ben Shapiro.
This is why we send you in with 1, 2, 3 guns, grenades. You can always plant lethal devices on people if you kill a innocent civilian.
True. Blow it up.
All right, you select the thing. I'm gonna hit Y on
All
it.
right.
I'm gonna ready up, and then I'm gonna go formulate my beverage.
I got you.
I gotta
I don't
do
know which
some
one to
alchemy.
pick.
Do like a house. I like the ones where we're inside someone's residence.
Okay. There's a cabin. You want cabin?
Show
Sure.
it to us.
Okay.
Awesome. All right.
I'm good to go.
Talk reporting. Copy. Suspects have a foothold in this area, and they're refusing to cooperate. Entry team, you are cleared to proceed with the mission.
On me.
Oh, look at these ugly ass shadows. God damn. I have this shit on low. It just looks like a screen door or something.
I'm up top. Let's go open it out,
What, in the
Pissed off
cabin?
people in here. Yeah, there's some people not. Oh, did I dice one? Oh my god, I threw the door at him, dude. Can I just
You said
breathe?
you're upstairs?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, that
Yeah.
upstairs. You know what I'm
Somebody's-
gonna do? I'm gonna throw them off. I'm gonna throw a fucking grenade up there on the second story.
Do it.
Third story, I mean.
Somebody was fucking barking at me through the door, so I just shot the door and it worked. Can I just break this shit? Oh, I can just push.
LSPD, don't move!
I don't know if he had a gun,
He had a
He yelled-
Makarov. I just put in.
Yup, I knew it. I obviously knew he had a gun, which is why. Yep.
Well, when someone's standing behind a door, that's basically
he was
that's
yelling at me,
armed.
dog.
That's armed.
I gave him a verbal warning.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's chemicals on the wall here. Yep. Oh, it's ricin. What the fuck? What in the fucking Walter White?
Yeah. Go back to that door that you went through. Come look at this. This place is giving off some serious True Detective season 1 type energy. All this like weird crap drawn on the walls. Look at this.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What's
There's,
going
yeah,
on
there's
here?
more the other way too.
Oh, there's math. There's math on the wall.
Do the
That's how you
math.
know these people are crazy when they start saying numbers and such.
But yeah, there is a fuck ton of math. And an eye? Yeah, no, this place is
Yeah.
cooked.
Die!
You got
That
him.
guy was invincible. What the hell was that?
Talk. One suspect down, responsive.
Talk to element. Copy EMT.
Did it say responsive or non-responsive?
I heard responsive, but I was like, there's no way that guy's dead as fuck.
Oh, whoa!
Whoa!
I I went to go restrain him, and he had a ghillie suit on, and then his legs flopped open, his cock and balls are out on stream.
Wait, what?
Yes, his fucking
Damn,
full ass, his balls and
Damn,
cock
damn.
dangled out from
It's a video
underneath the
game.
fucking
Surely I can
ghillie.
see it without getting banned, right?
What the hell?
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
We didn't see nothing.
I-
Everybody's
I-
real chill.
I restrained him like that, and that was his response, was to do that. Come on, man.
Yeah.
These guys are criminals. He's trying to get me banned. Orbital fluid extraction. Oh, this is like those people that like talk about adrenochrome and stuff all the time.
Oh yeah, like that JRE shit.
Yeah. They're like, Hillary Clinton is stealing children's adrenochrome. They're harvesting babies to keep her youthful. I was like, well, dude, it ain't working. She looks old as shit.
True,
She needs to
dude.
fucking re-up her prescription of
she's gotta double that
adrenochrome.
dose ASAP, dude. Yeah, there's no way.
She's
Yeah,
looking
I'm going
raggedy.
through here. Up the stairs. Or wait, is this where we came down? This might have been where we came down. Yeah, this is where we came down.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, no, I got you. I got you. Don't worry. Yeah, well, we cleared all this out. I guess we got to go the other way.
What are they doing down here? Oh, they're making bombs.
Oh, they're making bombs?
There's bomb tomfoolery, and there's wait.
Dead rat, watch. Bottle?
Is there like a little voice recorder in there you clicked?
Yeah.
Oh, because I clicked one at the exact same time.
Oh,
I was wondering why I hear like
the
an
double
echo.
voices.
Yeah.
Did you shoot your gun?
Nope.
Oh, I almost just died upstairs. Got it. Damn, yeah, I got hit.
Okay. I'm outside, but I'm coming back up, I think.
I don't think I can hit him through that dude. He's belting me through that shit.
Where's he at?
Up the stairs, over near me,
Okay.
flashing his ass.
Oh, is he up that staircase? Oh,
No,
that landed at your feet.
It didn't, but it did, I guess.
Is he up all the way?
Oh yeah, he's right here.
Ready? Eat lead! Let's do another
Brad.
one of those around this corner. Wait, on.
Talk. One suspect is down.
Oh, we're good. We're good.
Oh, he's still alive. Get restrained.
Copy. EMTs and trailers are standing by.
Wait, other side of this door.
Flash out.
Wait, no. That's just the porch. I don't think there's anybody out there. I hear somebody. Don't you hear somebody?
Me?
I want a
no?
refund.
Other side of this door? Or is
Open
this-
your ears, bro.
You fucking open your ears, dog.
Oh! There was a
Booby trap.
a little
Booby
booby
trap.
trap.
Booby trap. That'll happen.
Officer down, requesting trailers.
Revive me, Sam.
I can't, dude. Officer down. You're just gone.
I'm just dead. How was I supposed to know that was dead?
Well, you gotta look down at the thing.
Is there like a little tripwire?
Yeah, I think.
Fuck, dude. I didn't know there's tripwires. I didn't know we were dealing with this.
They knew who we were based off of their. They have a schematic here.
It does look exactly like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Whoa!
red one looks like you. Oh, you're.
You hear
You're
that?
not alone. I did hear it that time.
Is he downstairs?
He's speaking on you right now.
Is he downstairs or upstairs? Or is he above?
Okay, maybe he's top floor.
Man, I want my little lettuce back.
Oh,
Yeah!
okay. I'm gone. They knew
There is no top floor.
There's nothing above you.
No.
There's no like attic.
That guy has to be
He's
beneath
gotta be
me
downstairs,
then.
yeah.
I don't want to go down there now. We'll go down this way. Whoa, what's in here?
Guy with a shotgun. Every time there's a guy with a shotgun. Every time there's a guy with a shotgun.
Okay, it's nothing. Welcome to the cabin. It's to the left. Do you hear him to the right and the left?
He's just creeping. He sounds still just right beneath. Oh,
What?
do you not hear that floor creep? Little floor creep?
Is he to the left? I can't tell where this fucking guy is.
He's on you.
He's super close. Here he is. Yeah! What? What?
Disarming trap.
Did I just hear him like whisper? Oh man, I'm not caring for this a whole lot.
Element to talk. Evidence bagged.
Okay, I'm going upstairs. Wish me luck.
You got this, big cat.
Did we not clear this? I thought we cleared this entire place. Oh. Is this the final room? Okay.
Securing the device.
With you dead, I don't really much care for this game, dude. This game freaky.
Dude, you're getting spooked on right now. Just straight spooky stuff.
I'm definitely, like, I'm not crazy. I am hearing people, right? Like, there is, unless that's just like a part of the game. Okay, you know what I'm gonna, hold on. If I hit tab, can't you see mission brief? Bring orders to chaos. Reported, oh, I've done all these. I think everybody's dead.
Oh, did we win? No way we won.
Yeah, I reported the documents. I arrested Gerard Scott. I mean, I didn't arrest him, but arrest or neutralize any contact at the scene. Yeah.
Oh, we did it.
Suspects.
Did I really die after we did everything?
I think, yeah, I think
We did everything and I hit a
gone.
strip mine on the way out. That's so tough.
people are saying it's an environmental sound, but
That is terrifying if that's the
that's
truth.
such a strange one, yeah.
Put him on safe and let him hang. Great
Oh,
job.
all I had to do was secure the gun. That's all I had to do.
No shot.
Yeah, I just had to
No,
put the
we're
gun in a
so bad.
Ziploc. Damn. That is the worst environmental sound I've ever heard from a game. I've been in some old houses before. I've never heard a board creak and then the board go.
Yeah, he was saying stuff.
Oh, yeah. I think he was just injured and happened to be alive or something.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
In restraints and was just making noise and creaking a little bit.
We got an A. That's pretty
Yeah.
high. We're kind of sick.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Some men said we wouldn't even finish a mission. Fucking what does he know?
Sam is fucking zoinked right now. Actually, I'm on a tea break, okay? So you can't even blame it on that. That was just 100% spooky. But in a week's time, I will be back to my normal self, I can assure you. Oh. Hey, thank you for the sub. I forgot I'm supposed to do that. Nut
What's up
Nut
with the beanie? Don't you
Arbuckle.
live in Florida?
Oh, Peanut Arbuckle. Yeah, that's from that MDE skit. Hey, thanks for the resub. Love the videos. Thanks for the entertainment. Sir, thank you. Thank you. Mrs. Puffs Gooch, thanks for the sub. Praise 1118. Fudge Stomp. Big Edwards resubbed. Thank you. He said he wants a refund. Nope. Poison Mints 5792. Thanks for the sub. Lap Dance for Jesus. Thanks for the resub. He says, show it to us. Show what? What are you talking about? Show what to you? At Stalt. It will only get worse. What gets worse? What are you talking about, Stalt? Fuck off. Get out of here. Regular friends aren't supposed to be in here while I'm streaming. Scram. This is for normal people. When's the new Die of Laughter coming out? Oh my God, super soon, I'm sure. No, it's dead. It's gone. All right? Let it die. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Hey.
What's up, handsome? That was girthy.
Yeah. That's what cider does to my little tum-tum. What was I gonna say? It was something awesome. A gas
go.
station?
Yeah, do you like gas stations? Because we're robbing
Wait.
one.
I'm gonna go get a shoddy, like John
Okay.
Gotti. I'm gonna fuck
Yeah,
this place
alright.
up. This P90's been doing me good, but I feel like the people aren't getting blown apart the right way.
Yeah, you want to shred them.
Yeah, I don't want that pumpy either.
Your
'Cause I'm
content is fucking hilarious, and I
not a
think he wants
pussy.
you to show your genitals.
gonna do Supernova. This is that one gun from that Counter-Strike game. Let's see. Increased horizontal recoil. Increased accuracy. No. Yeah. I hate it when people get chokes on shotguns because it tightens the grouping, you know? I'm like, the whole point of a shotgun is that it has an insane grouping. I want that fucker to just hit 6, 7 people, innocent bystanders.
Yeah, true. I want collateral damage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I want.
And we're
the
going
whole
into a
room
gas station. I want to shoot on one aisle and see bags of chips blowing up on the other aisles. Because little beads are going everywhere.
Little stealing Harvard, dude. What the fuck? Get in there. Back when Tom Green acted.
What are you doing for Crimbus? You got any plans?
Just family and shit. Nothing.
Family and shit.
Yeah, nothing crazy, dude. I feel bad. People ask me what I wanted, and I was like, I'm already rich, right? I don't need, I don't need anything, right? You
I
get
got
that.
it all.
You get me,
yeah.
You know. But I was like, magic cards and weed. If you really want like a physical item, but
my problem is like my.
High ground to talk.
Oh, this guy's like alive. My like everything I do is just YouTube stuff. Like that's basically it.
Yeah.
And so I told like I was like, yeah, I want like a new tripod, and Abby's like, I'm not buying you work stuff. Fuck off.
Damn,
so I'm like,
that's
well,
tough. That's so tough.
Yeah, I was like, well, now what? Like, it's my identity. What do you want? What else do I need? Can't get a fucking tripod? Come on.
Yeah, I'm unlocking this bitch.
Wait, whoa. Back it up.
Yeah, well, I unlocked it just
the front door?
Listen.
How elementary are you? Come on, let's go around
Loud
back.
and proud, dog. I walk in there. You said you want to blast some aisles. Now you sounded scared as fuck.
There has to be like a side entrance or something.
Probably.
Let's see.
All the people, the dispensary where my grandma lives, I used to work at. So she can go in there and get me just a bunch of shit because everybody there knows what I like. So, yeah. It's also always funny when my grandma buys me weed for Christmas.
Okay.
Why you moving? Why you moving? Why you moving? Why you moving? Why you moving?
Staff
That's a wig.
only?
That's a wig.
Hands on your head. Do it now.
I hear a lady crying in here.
We have a civilian in custody and ready for transport.
You'll come back this way.
Do I gotta transport this dude out of here, or is somebody gonna come get him?
Somebody's gonna. Oh, look, he's edging out of the way. He's like, I know that they're gonna need to move here.
You need to get out the way because I'm gonna start.
I'm going in through
lighting
the
people
staff
up.
only door. This seems like the way to go. Let's split up.
I can explain everything. Hands up. Drop to your knees.
I had to put one down.
That's fine.
I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I had to put him down.
That's fine.
Stay here. Stay calm.
I got a guy down.
All right.
We're in restraints, of course.
Mine took the heady.
Civilian cuffed and prepped.
Oh, I just got some intel. He says he shot the manager. Some guy shot the manager.
Somebody else shot the manager? No.
Yeah.
Not the manager, dude. Scheduling is gonna be a nightmare now.
Yeah. That guy's a pillar of the community.
Yep. Oh, is a fucking veteran dead?
I'm in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, I'm right next to you. I'm on your right. I'm on your right. I'm getting down. I got bogues.
Okay. He's up front. I'm...
Hands on your head. Move. Hands up above your head.
What? Open that fucking door.
Had to take one down.
Ah! Oh my god, behind me. Holy fuck.
Oh, are you dead? Is that your
yeah,
body?
I was struggling with a fucking door. Kill that guy. Kill him!
You, dude. My teammate's dead because of you.
Oh, I like this helmet cam. This is a nice look. I feel like
That
it's
was
kind
rough.
of a
Hands up above your head.
kind of a dumb idea to put the helmet cam where a huge part of the visibility is obstructed by the power button to the very camera I'm looking through.
No, you need the immersion. You're wrong. It's worth it.
Who am I?
I think that every camera angle in this game is perfect. Hashtag sponsor.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I don't care.
I actually
don't
think
care.
that the power button being right in front of the camera view
It's a really
is,
dope thing.
that's what's called an immersive development decision. I really agree with that.
I appreciate the authenticity
Yeah.
that you have given me. Listen, at this point, if the first 5 minutes of this game didn't get this taken away from me, then nothing will.
By the way, I also feel like the most unbelievable part about this game is look at the size of those booths. Every restaurant I've ever been to, the booths are half that
no
big.
shot. No
Yeah.
shot. Look at
There's
the room,
no way.
dude. Yeah.
I could fit
In a gas station?
You could fit a whole Mexican family in one of those booths. 8
Dude,
people.
Yeah, there's no, dude, yeah, look at that. That's 5.
That's huge.
5 deep. You could go 5 there for
Huge.
sure. Yeah,
you could have the
shot.
Amish over for dinner at this
Yeah,
place.
that's insane.
Hands up now! Keep your hands up!
Don't be a hero, pal.
That's a cardboard cutout.
And I knew that.
When we were playing earlier, I shot that thing right between the eyes.
I was like,
I was doing the same thing.
Dude?
Hands
I
up!
was like, why are you
Hands
mocking
up!
me right now, dude? I was getting real upset for a second. I was like, you just cross your arms so I got a gun in your face? You think you're cool? You think you're a hero? Yeah, I was starting to get irate.
Yeah, I got kind of mad at him too because he's got his arms crossed. Yeah, it's such a pretentious look.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was looking all smug. I was about to dice him up, dude. Okay. Yeah, somebody's crying. Do I check the missions with tab? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Rescue all civilians. Find Crystal Layton.
Is there a dead dog?
Find the store manager. No.
Did we do that?
No. Us? Police officers? No.
Okay.
Yeah, it couldn't be. Dude, I swear to God, I hear a victim.
The SWAT sniper did that before we even came in.
Yeah, no, that was special teams. Oh, in the bathroom.
Of course.
Going full auto, just in case.
Hands up now!
Okay.
Yeah, get down, yep.
Stay calm.
Don't move. Don't breathe on me.
Put us here, okay?
Entry team to talk.
Okay, alright, we're out of here.
Whoa, that guy seemed like a...
Trailers en route.
Read the talk. We have one civilian down.
Like a what?
Talk reporting.
He seemed like he was in there with the cash.
Tag him.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
My horny ass could never be a cop. Because I take all this money, dude, I'm so gone, dude. So fast am I gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, zero integrity. I'm out of here so quick, dude. More? Yeah, I'm taking both of these duffels.
I
dude.
wouldn't be like one of those people that like plants evidence, but I would definitely
I'd
be stealing
it.
stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
that'd be-
sure. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't know where that kilo of
From
cocaine
a drug?
went.
Yeah.
I have no idea. There was
what, just
99
drugs?
kilos.
Yeah.
It was a really weird number.
I'm
to
not
have
even
in
trying to
here.
move it. That's just
Yeah.
mine. That's just mine for... They notice I'm like, my work ethic is insane. I'm really amped up before every mission.
Really energetic and just full of it.
Like 3 years ago, I got a fucking
Dude,
kilo
where'd I
of
go?
cocaine,
I'm
and I've been
freaking
using it.
I'm mad confused
How long
right
would
now.
a fucking kilo even last you? I know nothing
Dude,
about cocaine.
so long.
Yeah, it just seems like that's
So long.
forever, unless you develop like a problem. you
Yeah,
know?
dude.
But I'm
that's-
assuming
that's a
just
1,000 grams. That's so much cocaine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Element to talk. We have a civilian in our
1,000
if
grams
you-
is 1
dude, even
kilo.
if you're-
Wow,
yeah,
it all lines up like
Yeah,
that. Huh?
yeah. The math
That
is
metric system is insane.
Even if you're doing an 8-ball like every weekend.
How many
that's so
milligrams
many
is that?
Yeah. How many? Can I get that in liters? To be sure. Dude, I feel like I'm missing a door.
I want to try to buy Coke in Imperial.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I get a pound?
One of my friends, the first time he went to buy weed, he asked for a cup of weed because he didn't know how the measurements worked.
Yeah.
And he asked for a cup of weed, and they all laughed at him. And he loves to tell that story. Yeah, he was like, I was scarred for a while.
Have you ever seen Derek Comedy? It's like a
Maybe.
legendary YouTube sketch channel from like way back when. It used to have Donald Glover in it. He was part of it.
Oh shit!
And because he started on
Are you?
YouTube. And I think you're done, dude.
Find
honestly.
Crystal Layton.
Oh wait. Yeah, what you need to do is I think
Oh, this guy, the veteran.
high ground to
Yeah.
talk. Civilians
And I think I'm good.
Talk to entry
Awesome.
team. Roger that, entry team.
anyways, they ended up making a movie called it was like Mystery Squad or something like that. And in one of the scenes they're going to buy Coke. And they're like, some Coke. They have no idea what they're doing. They're like, some Coke, please. And the guy's like, what do you want? Like an 8-ball? He's like, guys, should we do it? Should we treat ourselves? Yes, we'll take 8 balls of Coke. Do we really need 8 balls? Sure, we'll do it. And they just look like fucking Poindexters. They have like bowl cuts and fucking glasses with like tape in the middle and shit. I've only seen clips of that movie. I assume it was just like a a YouTuber made a movie type quality, but it's probably a fun watch.
Were you a video game high school kid?
I was not.
Oh,
I
okay.
was a huge Freddie W fan, and then when he made that, I was like, he jumped the shark.
Oh, damn.
That was my mentality at the time. Since then, I've met Freddie W, and I love him, so I can't say that. But at the time, you know, juvenile me
Oh, for sure.
thought that I was like, dude, go back to making funny like sketches.
Yeah, you're like, you went from fucking cool sketches to Flower Wars? You fucking sellout.
Well, I don't know. Actually, Flower Wars I liked. I wasn't a fan of
You
video
like
game
Flower
high school.
Wars, but not
Yeah.
video? That's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's fair. It is more like, there's got to be something outside I'm missing, right? Somebody said the garage outside. I'm just wandering, dude.
Yeah, turn around. Wait, you're going the way we came. There you go. Now you're... Dude,
Yeah,
your hands are
VGHS
shaking.
was
I
my
can tell
shit.
you're scared, dude. You're
I'm
scared.
terrified. My friend is dead. I just had to kill like 9 civilians. There's a dog in there. I didn't even get to.
That garage? Right there?
Yeah, maybe this
Could be.
one.
One weird little thing, the actor from Video Game High School, I recognized him at the very end of No Country for Old Men. He's the guy that gives...
Yeah, the shirt that gives
Yeah.
Anton the shirt. I noticed that same thing.
Yeah.
Dude. I was like, I watched No Country for Old Men for the first time because I had known what it was, but I never would just sat down and watched the movie front to back.
Yeah.
And yeah, I watched that like a few weeks ago, and I was like, holy shit, that's Brian, dude.
Oh, yeah, Brian. That was the kid's name from...
Pass
PJ.
that one
Okay.
behind the forklift.
Yeah, the door right...
Oh, this
the
right
double
here.
door.
Yeah. That
On the
double door?
forklift. Yeah, I think.
You think it's
Isn't
that one?
Well, is
I
that
think it's
blue
this
thing
one.
touching it?
Yeah.
Dude, that guy's mean mugging you.
Dude, I'm about to put that guy the fuck down, dude. I got it. Okay.
The guy inside
case.
groaned. He went, oh.
It's got to be this one, right?
Put your hands up. Get on the ground.
No?
Yeah, I don't know what... Can
Yeah,
I
I don't
hit
know what I'm
tab and
missing.
see? Okay,
Yeah,
hold
just-
on. Find
Can I make
Crystal
this
Layton.
bigger?
Locate the civilian. Crystal Layton, a minor hiding somewhere in the crime scene. Oh, you need to go hunt down a little kid. He's probably inside.
I feel like I went everywhere inside, though. Is that the person I heard yelling?
Maybe.
They're saying in the bathroom, but I thought I checked all the bathrooms.
You just went through one bathroom. There was another one back there.
Was there another one back there?
Yeah. They usually come in
If this
pairs.
caterpillar gets in my fucking way again, I swear to God, I'm a fucking... Okay.
Okay, now employee bathrooms. I'm sure. Unless it's all one. Staff only, employee bathroom.
Is this him?
Do it now.
Do I just need to carry him out?
Well, I couldn't pick up anybody else, so that seems right.
Okay. Yeah, do you not normally pick people up?
I don't think so. Unless you can use them as meat shields, that'd be kind of cool.
What are you crying about, monkey? What are you crying about? You passed her, go back? Dude, fucking eat a toaster.
Okay.
Passed her?
Is that him?
I thought it was. But I got monkey fucking crying in
That's
chat
an
going,
employee.
"This is pain."
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's some guy like, oh wait, I've done this before, therefore I know what I'm doing, and you haven't done this before. Let us learn.
Yeah, let me learn.
Fuck you.
stupid. I hear her
Assholes
yelling.
acting like you weren't at one point looking around for this little minor.
Yeah. I bet you love to look around for
It's
minors.
like
you
it's like the
little
worst
piece of
thing
shit.
about streaming Dark Souls, any of the Souls games, because those games are so based off of knowledge.
Never
Like
played
once
this
you
game, but-
once you do it, you know, and people that have done it just sit there and ridicule when it's your first time playing.
Oh yeah, Hexum's playing Dark Souls right now, and in big letters in his title is no backseat.
Yeah, just shut up, nerds.
Dude, I swear to God, I'm getting gassed. That people are like, I think you just saw her. You just ran past her. There's no way, dude.
Her? What's the name?
No,
again?
that's the kid.
Layton. Oh, Crystal Layton.
Yeah,
okay, yeah. So it's a lady.
Yeah.
Wait, have you gone in there where that guy's leaned up against the wall, the back? No, stop. Calm.
Okay.
Find
left,
inner
right.
peace directly behind you in the room that you were just in, and then to the right in there. Yes, go in there all the way. Oh, that's just like a little.
Yeah, it's just a roundabout.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's that
fucking-
little
I'm
It's a
gonna
little
find her,
casting
and
couch area.
it's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah. Where is she?
Nobody knows.
Let's see if my chat knows. Check.
I found her. I found her myself.
Well, she was
Nobody
hiding.
else.
Okay.
Yeah, look at how. Yeah,
Come on, you have to admit that one's.
You guys are so
Yeah.
lying sacks of shit, dude. It's crazy, dude. You guys had no idea. Shit gamers. That's
Some
crazy.
guy's like 4 times in the last minute they passed her. Fuck you. He hasn't been in there yet.
Dude, why don't you one time yourself around the? Never mind. We're good. Where am I going? Do I leave now?
I think. Let's see. You've done 5 out of 5 objectives.
Yeah. Do I just leave now?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Now you go to the garage. Boomer gamers. Fuck you!
Okay, dude.
Go to bed. It's 10:44.
I'm gonna start tracking down people that call me a boomer online. Fuck their dad. So hard. I'm gonna ruin your mom's life by.
I'm gonna make
giving
your dad
that
call
good
me
dick.
daddy.
That's
all
right, dude. I'll be tearing that bus up from fucking 6 to 12. It's over, dude. Your dad could be calling me. I'll be ignoring it. Mom's gonna get suspicious, dog. You get 2 Christmases, but I'm at one of them. Now I go to the garage. This one?
I don't know.
Dude, I'm so lost. Without you, I'm nothing, dude. You were the glue.
Let me tell you something. I haven't lived this long to get to this point.
This is crazy. Dude, I just fucking, I don't like him, dude. I don't like him at all, dude.
I don't think it says anything about the garage.
It says nothing about a garage. I see 5 objectives. I did them all. I don't understand. I did the mission. Take me home. That's immersive.
Oh, it says in the top left how to end.
Oh, I can't. Can you make this bigger? This little screen? Can you make it bigger? Somehow?
Maybe just get back in your cop car.
Oh, yeah? I just get back in the way.
Yeah, just get back in, drive home.
Or is there a truck? Oh, this truck? No, that's paramedic. Yeah, no, that's paramedic.
They get mad when you touch their trucks.
Yeah, true. Think they're heroes, EMTs. Okay. Enjoy your $50 an hour.
Oh, there's guns on the ground that need to be wrapped up. Have you not been bagging and tagging
Dude,
guns?
I've been trying to bag the guns, dude.
I hear the vape on your voice. This guy's...
No.
Yeah,
no,
I just did. Your
no,
your voice sounded funny.
No.
You just vaped.
No. I don't know what you're talking about. No. No. Listen, I'm stressed, okay?
Look for
Did you not
guns.
bag this gun? You didn't bag this gun. This was your kill. You didn't bag that gun. That's your kill. What happened?
Wait, was there a gun bagged on that guy that you just passed?
Yeah, bagged, and then I don't.
That one's bagged? Wait, if you don't see it, you need to figure it out.
Talk to entry team. Roger, entry team.
Because he had a gun. There's no way he didn't. Close that door. It might be behind the door. Boom, mousetrap. Bag it.
Yeah, bag it.
Kitchen knife.
Crap.
Bag it. Whoa! You
Pretty
sent his
raw.
body flying.
Dude, yeah. Maybe
Did he not
did.
have a gun? Did you
I
just
thought
kill
he
an
did.
unarmed dude?
No, he surely had a gun. That's an op. That is an opposition if I've ever seen one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no gun. Maybe
Yeah,
that one on
I'll
the floor
save the
back
weapon.
there is his.
Yeah, true. Then this one's different. No, this would have been this guy's for sure. Yeah, I'm super confused. We could also just run it back. We did the mission.
I kind of
credit.
want the... I want to see this through. I'm concerned at this point.
Dude, this is
Oh,
you.
wait, there's my gun. Tag up my gun.
Oh, okay. Maybe your stuff.
To high ground. Copy, entry team. Proceed with mission.
Proceed with the mission. Okay. There's still some important stuff to be done here.
Yeah, I'm
Dude,
doing
come on.
God's work.
Teabag me all you want. I'm eating homemade cookies. I don't give a shit.
That's fair.
They're so hard.
I'm missing guns, dude. I feel like I've just been wandering around this gas station for what feels like years.
Cell phone? You bag it?
Can't bag it. Not bagging it. It probably like phased through the floor or something, and now I can't bag it. I want this gun. I think this is the only. There's only one other person I killed besides this guy, and this was over there.
Tell this illiterate to press V.
That's voice chat. Are you actually stupid? Oh, you're actually dumb. You're actually so
press
dumb.
Y. Press Y, maybe.
Talk to entry team. Excellent work, entry team.
Oh, to end the is it just end the mission? You just end the mission? That's all you have to do? It doesn't end it for you? I just have to press Y? You fucking illiterate fucks saying V? You guys don't even know your fucking keyboard? You dumb pieces of shit?
There was another guy that said Y.
Okay. All right. Well, one of mine said fucking V2. Crap puncher, you're a fucking idiot. Okay. I didn't know I just had to end the mission. I thought there was something else I had to do. You guys are the worst. That was a Y. That was clearly a Y. You guys are okay. Yeah. You guys need glasses. This is crazy. All right, mission successful. We clutched it. Easy.
There's one called like High Rise or something where we're killing vets.
Irons? Like veterans?
Yeah, they all have like prosthetic legs, and it's kind of funny.
Fighter?
Maybe that one if you can find it. Or actually, there's one where we're like at a house on the beach. It looks like a beach house in like San Diego or something. That one's like gamers rising up.
There's a bunch of new ones too with the update. Ideas of okay, luxury apartments, Brissa Cove. We're going into stairwell, right? Surely this is what you're talking about.
Sure.
Sure. It's in a cove and they're luxury apartments. That sounds like everything that you just said to me.
Sort of.
Are you gonna play Arena tomorrow or at all? I know you love competitive shooters, but
yeah, that's a little bit too competitive for me, I think.
you think so?
Yeah. Also, it's like a lot of the aspects of Tarkov that I like are taken out by Arena. Arena's just the shooting.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
And-
yeah. And I'm the opposite.
Oh, you're hankering for it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm hankering for it just because BSG sucks ass and everything like that, but because they just fuck everything up. And I mean, Tarkov's in such a rough state that like competitive shooter is going to be a little rough. But I do play Tarkov for like the PvP. That's like the fun to me. Yeah. So it does essentially, yeah, it does isolate, I guess.
Talk to high ground. Entry team suspects have taken
We going down or up?
to cooperate. Move in.
Um,
Remember your ROE. Let's secure the
up.
area.
That
Oh,
was
well,
a really cool attempt.
I'll just walk through.
Keep your hands up.
How do I turn
Clear.
my flashlight on?
Clear. Oh, I got night visions.
How do I turn flashlight though?
I don't know. It says mouse button 2. I don't know what that is.
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
Please, hands up.
I'm gonna move. I'm gonna go to the. Actually, I'm gonna follow you.
Sure.
Go all the way around this corner.
You got the shield. You get up at him.
Oh god, guy at the end of the hallway.
Gun? Oh, yup.
Hands on your head.
Yeah,
Frag
he's
out.
there. Frag him.
It hit the fucking ceiling. It actually hit the ceiling. That's
All
so
the way at
crazy.
the end. He's all the way at the end. He's behind those boxes. He's not there anymore. I'm going in.
I got your back.
Oh.
One on my side. Down.
Oh, nice.
Hands up.
Oh, end of the hall.
Oh
that
no!
peak
One
was-
shotted you. These are vets, dude. I told you these guys are
Dude, and
trained
also, like,
killers.
I could only see his arm, so I thought it was fine, and then he just lasered me. That was crazy. That was
I
actually
can't
wild.
see shit. There's like some giant glare in the middle of my. I got him.
You got this. It was me last turn. Now it's you.
Entry team.
Okay.
We just swap off.
Notifying trailers.
Hot potato, the fun.
What? Look at the size of this bathroom, dude. It's like the size of my living room.
Yeah, there's.
High
This size of
ground
my
to
fucking
talk.
apartment.
Suspect is down, requesting Thames.
Talk reporting. Roger that, entry team. Tag him and keep
We're not
moving.
here for you.
I should take his rings while I handcuff him.
Lead the talk.
Wait.
We have an individual in custody.
Talk reporting. Roger. Trailers inbound.
Watch my back. Disarming.
You thought you could get me with that? Are you kidding me? Elementary, my dear boy. Okay.
Clean shot.
I thought this thing was a semi-auto.
No, I think that's the M10. That's the Pumpy.
No, this is the Supernova or whatever. Is that an M10?
Oh. No, the M10, I think it's the one underneath it. It's like the M10 or whatever. Same one to count. Okay, you're breaching clear. Yeah, they got big boy guns.
You hear him in there?
It sounds like the news.
The news. Hmm. Ah!
Oh.
I'm here. Oh.
Okay.
I'm here to protect my nation. Two greatest enemies to this nation: terrorist cells like this and the free press. Oh shit! Oh fuck! I had to go in there. I was trying to shoot down that CNN bullshit on that TV.
Dude, the woke mob got you again.
Yeah.
Yeah. The liberal agenda took you right.
I heard something other than InfoWars and I was fuming. I gotta take this shit out.
Classic censorship, dude. When will it end?
All right, that shotgun's gotta go.
Oh, do you need to switch out? Can you switch out in here? Or do we need
No,
to
no,
back
fuck
out?
it. Restart it. Restart it. We're good.
Okay. Sure. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I get it now. I'm cooking. I got these dudes locked up. We're going in.
Hands up, do it now!
Talk to entry team. Entry team, suspects have taken refuge in the area and are refusing to cooperate.
Hands up!
Move in.
Little clear.
Ready?
Get on the ground now!
Oh, you
Hands
going
up
in?
now.
Okay.
Go in this one.
Those hands!
Check it. I got him. Clear.
Oh, there's a little door in there. Open that shit.
I saved your life.
Get down!
Okay. I'm on you. I'm on you.
This is a very large room.
Oh, okay.
I see him. I see him.
Bang him.
He's dead.
Oh, well.
And now his cock's blown up.
Yeah, well,
Fuck,
he's
yeah.
got flashbang burn.
I just want to state for the record that these are Eames lounge chairs over here.
Oh, yeah? Same
Yeah.
kind?
Oh no, that's a Barcelona chair that you're looking at, but these are Eames lounge chairs.
Oh, yeah, I remember. I remember from
Yeah.
your, it's the game that's kind of like Bioshock, Atomic Dead or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, yeah. The Atomic Heart.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah.
It was in that video where I learned what those are.
Yeah, one day I'll get one of those.
Yeah,
One
they're
day.
they're like 1,400, right? Or is it more?
1,400. Oh my god! When I first
Like
started
5K?
fiending for one, they were like 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like pandemic or something, plywood apparently is hard to get a hold of. Now they're like 9,000.
That's
I don't
crazy.
think I'm not gonna spend that much on a fucking chair. I need to send my kids to college, you know. So eventually, I'm gonna find someone that has one. I'll break into their
mean-
house and steal it. I'll do like I'll do some
Listen.
sort of like Ocean's 11 heist on them in order to take their chair.
If they're anything like you and Abby, you can just get a chair. You don't have to worry about college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
just get the chair.
Yeah, just, you know, Sam, I don't think you need to worry about higher education. Actually, just go ahead and get that chair, buddy. Comfort's
programs
king.
are pretty cheap. So
Yeah, trade schools are big. Hair college, haircutting college, or whatever. That's where your girls will be going.
I feel like there was a guy back
Whatever.
there last time.
whatever beautician school or whatever, where you send them to go figure out how to
the
paint
salon
nails.
shit.
Yeah. There was a guy down here last time, wasn't there?
I feel like I hear one through. Oh, okay. I dusted a boy. He's dusted. Came around the wrong.
Suspect reported.
Roger that. Continue with your mission.
This guy said even Ashley Home Furniture stores are for people with 800 credit scores now.
True.
Yeah, it's rough out there.
Get down! I want to see hands!
American Furniture Warehouse? He had those tigers, dude? I don't know if that's a Florida thing or if that's more local.
Wait. Can't see you really. I think. Have you?
Here.
Oh,
Okay. I thought you were gonna blast me. I thought I was
about
I
to
don't know if I
blast you.
bagged. Did you bag this guy's gun? I don't know if I did.
No, you did not.
Okay. Yeah, I bagged.
Look at that. I told you, dude. He's got bionic legs.
Is he really?
They're proud of it, too. They tuck their pant leg into it.
Oh, that's hard. Honestly, hard.
Uh-huh. What kind of leg would you get?
Dude, I watched that video of the dude that was like, I have a $5,000 gold-plated electronic
No,
leg.
fuck him. He was like, it's 125,000. Like,
Oh yeah, that
What?
guy versus the guy that was like, yeah, mine was like 500 and it bangs. I'm probably,
Yeah.
you know, I got popcorn ceilings, right? I'm probably like, I'm getting one of my IT homies to 3D print me a leg. I'm not.
because I was thinking about that. Like, would I get the Doctor? What is that guy from Half-Life?
Is it Morgan that has the prosthetic? I don't know.
Yeah, and he's got the scoop. You know, would I get the scoop or would I get the peg leg?
Oh
Or-
yeah, like the
or
one
would I
that, like,
get-
the runners using shit. Oh, guy on me.
I see. Yeah, he's over here on the left. Where's he at?
He backed up.
Oh! Ah!
Diced
All right,
him.
hit his dead body with a grenade. Boom.
No evidence.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a closed
And then
casket.
the other option is like the Lieutenant Dan's, where it's just like a little metal stick.
Yeah, which is also hard.
Yeah, that's kind of cool because then it's like you're minimalist. You're like, I don't really care about the aesthetics of my
yeah.
leg. I'm not
I met a
past
guy
or
a few
future.
seasons ago that was snowboarding on it, so I know I can snowboard if I lose a leg. So I'm chilling.
I feel like there's somebody in here. Cannot kick with broken legs? Did I break my leg?
How'd you break
Wow.
your leg?
I broke my leg. Trying to kick open a closet door, but this.
Oh yeah, I gotta check our test. Rescue all the civilians. Locate sniper rifle in room 1204. Arrest 3 people. Find the Oh my god, this fucking quest is insane. We fought for USA, but USA won't fight for us. This is so true, dude. Oh my god.
Are we killing the good guys
We're
again?
look, we're the baddies. Come look at what it look. We're the baddies. We're killing base. We're killing base people, dude. Yeah, they got the sign, dude. Yeah, no, we're killing base people.
Your bill kills.
Yep.
We are fucking
Yeah, dude,
human.
we're
No, you're not. No, you're not. Peace. I'll tell you. Oh wait, I found that rifle we were supposed to be looking for.
Round to talk.
Oh, nice.
Evidence bagged.
I didn't fight for this country to watch my brothers die of hunger.
Dude, yeah, we're just killing a bunch of veterans. This sucks. Oh, I got killed by a veteran. I should have known there was gonna be
Oh damn! Never mind. They're the bad guys again.
one.
I take it back.
They killed your boy. Get rid of them all. Wait, are you dead too?
Yeah,
Shit. Okay, we got dice.
he did it through and through.
Yeah, this one's kind of wild. This one's got a lot, and they're armed, and we're fucking okay.
Talk to element.
Damn.
Entry team, suspects have taken refuge in the area and are refusing to cooperate. Move in.
I'm going to town on these gingerbread cookies. They're fucking.
Yeah, it
good.
sounds good. I'm fucking hungry. I'm so.
People are laughing because of how hard they are, but I requested that.
Oh, yeah,
Abby
you-
usually cooks them where they're like, you know, they're gingerbread. They're actually more like bread. And I'm like, I kind of like them where they're like ginger snaps.
A little snappy,
You know,
yeah.
where they're just like hard as hell.
See, I'm actually
then
the
I
opposite.
usually-
I like the soft.
Oh, you like the soft ones? if you're icing them, I feel like they should be the soft ones for sure.
Oh my god, he's just on the corner. Did I dice him? I diced him.
Another one? Yeah,
Yep.
another one. Frag out.
Need to talk.
Bagging him up.
Suspect down.
This is Tom.
Another American hero perished. Dead.
Oh, yeah.
You got him.
Oh, I think I shot his arm off.
You won't be needing that.
Yeah. Have the VA patch you up, dumbass.
Yeah. Have fun waiting 3 months for medical
Yeah.
assistance after trying to fight for our country.
With your mission.
What a joke.
Talk.
Oh, I remember there was an extra one over here last time.
Reporting. Copy. EMTs and trailers are standing by.
I think that was the guy I just got.
Okay.
I hope.
We need the sniper, right? You said you found a gun in here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's this one.
Element to talk. Hands up, above your head.
Hey, I feel like someone's in here. Come here. Take a left. Back here. Back here.
What? Okay.
Back of the room. Back of the room.
Put your hands up.
I'm going
Never mind.
shield.
I lied.
It's a nice ass toilet, though. Are you a bidet guy? Are you all switched out on bidets?
I never understood bidets, and
I
I
didn't
never,
until I
I
used
never
one.
got it, and then I used one.
Yeah, right? It changes you, right?
That shit almost turned me gay. I
Yeah.
was getting your ass completely destroyed by some pressurized water. Oh my god!
It fucking hits.
Abby was like, "Are you ever gonna get off that thing? You didn't even go in there and poop. You just sat down on the bidet." I was like, "Dude, sometimes you just gotta give that thing a whirl
Dude,
real
that's what I'm
quick.
saying, bro.
Just get home, freshen up on the bidet for 20, 30 minutes, get off."
Dude,
What's wrong
never
with that?
trust me again.
Yeah.
It's a true feeling.
Oh, wait,
around
wait.
this corner to
This
the
room
right.
is. Stop talking about getting ass blasted right now. This
Yeah,
room's
okay.
dangerous.
I think he's on the right here.
No. I think there's people outside too. Peekaboo. Nice. No. Oh, we're good out here.
I killed
Damn,
this guy.
dude. Nice.
Talk to entry team. Roger that, entry team. Tag him and keep moving.
I think I hear another one this way. Yeah. Or maybe that was you I heard.
Wait, did you get like weapons off this guy? Yeah, you did.
I bagged him.
All right.
We need to arrest people. Oh, okay, right in my face. All right.
Shotgun works. Oh no!
Down the
No!
hole.
Oh fuck!
Are you
I was
dead?
in the middle of reloading. Yeah, I'm gone. Have you tried the vortex mode? If there was a goddamn bidet that had a vortex mode, I would buy it immediately.
Oh, for
That's actually.
sure.
I'm gonna do that for a
Swirl?
video. I'm just gonna buy like one of those $1,500 Japanese toilets and make a video of me installing it. You know, the ones that just come with like the built-in electronic
Yeah,
bidet.
they like talk to you and shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
they talk to you.
I didn't see the other guy.
Do you want your asshole clean, sir? But
Yeah,
of
it's
course.
real. Like I would never make a partner clean my ass, right? But this is the replacement for that.
Yeah.
And I don't have to feel sympathy for it because it's a robot.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, it's just inanimate. You know what I'm saying?
And this guy's following up. He's like, "That wasn't a joke. They have a vortex mode." I was
They
like,
have the swirl.
"Yeah." They have that. You shit your pants 7 hours ago and it's dried on there mode, and it sandblasts your asshole. Would you use another man's bidet? Yes, I mean if it's clean.
Yeah,
I
what?
don't
Yeah,
see
what?
why not. Yeah, it's water.
Yeah, what?
It's not like it recycles his ass water.
Yeah, what? Yeah, do you think that like water from another man's gonna turn you gay? Are you worried about? Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
I don't even think about that. Yeah,
I
tax
drank
write-off.
another man's debate. Yeah. Come on now.
Installing a bidet is definitely a tax write-off.
Oh, for sure. You gotta
Yeah.
show it on one stream once or our Twitter. And
I would
that's
make a video of it. It would be
Yeah.
like 5 minutes of me installing it, and then 20 minutes of me sitting on it using it, just with the dumbest smile on my face.
You off the shotgun? You back on the MCX?
No, I'm getting a shotgun. I just want like
Oh,
a
you wanted the
semi-auto
auto
one.
one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got you.
with a laser pointer. All right. Yeah, I'm ready now.
Okay, are we hitting the same one?
I feel like we need to fully put these guys in the dirt for.
Yeah, I'm tired of these American heroes living.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if there's a map, like, just because based off the trends so far, where it's like, are these the bad guys?
Yeah.
Like, is there one where it's just dudes like that want reparations, like black dudes, and you just go in and mow them down?
Surely, right?
Yeah, because it would be in line with it.
We've got veterans. We've got vigilante people in the woods. Like, we're just knocking down heroes.
Victimized women. Victimized women.
Yeah, it's true, dude.
That aren't even, by the way, these guys, this is almost like The Rock, if you've seen that movie. These guys are bad. They're obviously about to snipe somebody. They're killing, like they're doing a terrorist attack to draw awareness for the country that's turned their back on them. The women that we killed were just gonna kill rapists. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't. They weren't like they weren't killing civilians and shit. It wasn't like a terrorist
they were doing
attack.
our job for us without the
Yeah.
dog killing, and we fucking took them out, dude. We said not enough, dude. Stepping on our turf, that's fucking crazy. Okay. We know all the tricks. We know all their games.
Entry team, suspects have taken refuge and are refusing to cooperate. Move in. Remember.
Dude, wait, you're going too fast, too hard.
No, I'm breaching clear.
You're scaring me. Where'd you go? I don't even know where you
To
went.
the left. Through the door? Or through the door to the left. I hear one on my right. Wall banged his ass.
I'm gonna clear the rest of this hallway down there. Okay, we're good. Dude,
Bagging.
you pass by so many doors.
This is Tom.
I know where I'm going.
Copy. EMTs and trailers are standing by.
Oh god. He's in here.
Oh, yeah, you got Bogues?
Bogues. Got him.
Roads around the building have been barricaded by police, and anyone within the radius
Bogue down?
is ordered to
Did you just kill somebody?
Yep. We're dividing and conquering right now. We're just that elite.
Hands on your head, move!
This is Talk. Copy that entry team. Notify.
Oh, this is me. Coming behind you.
Okay. I don't know why I always clear these, but I feel like there might be something.
Bathrooms or something.
Well, I've seen, like, last time I played it, people, like, crawled out from under beds and stuff. Like, they can do weird
Oh,
shit.
damn. Okay. Yeah, somebody said they died to suicide bombers like 30 seconds
Dead
of this mission.
suspect here.
Yeah.
Talk reporting. Talk copies all. Proceed with.
You are bagging up weapons, right? I don't want another
Yep. No,
Fucking-
yep. Yep.
annoying thing where we have to look around for a...
many others. An alleged
Wait, no.
you received just
Two anti-vets bill.
Where's locked? Oh, no.
now. Please be warned.
You alright, buddy?
I made it. You know? Your boy's hurt.
This
I've been
guy...
better.
I killed him and I can't find a gun for him.
Just, you know. Just lay one down.
Yeah. I know he has one.
Obviously, you wouldn't have shot him otherwise.
Oh, he's an amputee. They all have guns in this one.
True, true.
Around the building have been barricaded by police. and
Talk to.
Oh, I got one restrained and breathing. I guess he's still alive.
Standing by.
What about that, there's like a musician or something like that in one of these.
Lead the talk. We got a wounded civilian. Send Thames immediately.
Have you found him yet?
I have not. I'm dealing with Bogues right now.
Hands on your head, now!
I just one-tapped this dude who was sick.
Damn, dude. I think actually just based off of the number that you've said you've killed, I think we might be towards the end of... Okay.
Okay, are you dead? Oh, God. Oh,
I think
no.
I was about to say, I think we might have this one all wrapped up and ready
Wait,
to
did you
go.
die? Where did you, that was so close to me. Where did you
Yeah.
die?
I was walking through a door and there was a, it was rigged to explode.
Where are you? That sounded so close to me.
No, not in there. I was in the place with the grand piano.
Grand piano.
Yeah.
Cause I gotta bag your gun and shit now.
Yeah. Yep, in there.
In there? There was one in here?
No, it was right where that door is. It's blown up.
Oh.
Yeah.
My boy.
Got an officer down.
Talk to element. Copy that, entry team. Notifying.
So there wasn't a musician in there for you?
I was in the middle of like that girl. I don't know if she was the musician, but then you died and I fucking went hunting. I'll go back to it.
No, it's a black guy. He's got rings. He's got a turtleneck. Did you kill him?
There's no way. No. It's not this guy.
No.
Okay, well, I'm gonna restrain you.
Because I think. Hold on, let me hit tab. In progress.
Talk to entry team.
Detain any unarmed contacts.
Inbound.
Locate the sniper rifle. We haven't done that yet.
Oh, I gotta go back for that. I remember.
Arrest 3 suspects at the scene. Locate
2,
Lori,
right?
resident of apartment 1202. Locate the sailor, resident of apartment 1203. Oh, it's different each time.
Talk reporting.
That's not good.
Yeah.
I'm banging him.
Dude, this is a cool apartment, by the way. Look at these little.
I gotta remember to aim low with these things. He's got a fucking cannon on him.
This is like the best viewing camera angle. Oh, look at that. Little living room in
Oh
here.
no, I unswapped my weapon at the worst time.
This one's a
We're
warrant.
dog shit.
Yeah.
Report to talk for debrief.
This guy's like, this game looks like a GameCube game. I can assure you, if you take the graphical settings off low, this game looks insane.
Yeah, it looks really good. Also,
Yeah.
what GameCube game are you talking about? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
I would like
There's
to
no
see a
way.
GameCube
Yeah.
game.
Are you talking
GameCube game
about 007
nowadays.
Nightfire? Because that game looks like shit. You're off your fucking rocker. Oh, Sam, do you have a Switch?
Yeah.
Like a Nintendo Switch? You do?
Talk to entry team.
Do you
No.
play Mario Kart? Do you play Nintendo games?
Area, and they're refusing to cooperate.
I have Mario Kart.
Entry team,
Okay.
you
Because
are
I want to do a
cleared
Beerio
to
Kart
proceed.
night.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Have you never played Beerio Kart? It's super simple. Everybody drinks a beer. You can't drink while you drive, and you have to finish the race with no beer.
Can't drink while you drive.
Nope.
Oh wait! I got this guy right in the aorta.
Oh, kill shot.
Get
Yeah,
down!
you have-
Get down! Get down!
Down on your knees.
Damn
You're
it!
right. That door just opened.
Dude, I thought I could get that guy to. Oh well.
Oh,
Suspect is deceased. Requesting trailers.
got a guy. Huge gun. Veteran, definitely veteran.
Entry team.
Let me see.
Notifying morgue.
Oh, no, you don't really need it. No, yeah, you don't really need it. No, you don't really. No, you really. I got it under control. honestly. You're gonna,
Yeah, he had a
Yeah.
prosthetic.
look, he's missing a leg.
Yeah, he's missing a leg.
He's missing a leg. He fits
Thought
the
he was a vet.
description.
Talk to
Yep.
element. Roger, entry team. Notifying medical.
Checks out.
Oh, come on, dude. Nice apartment like this, you have a ceiling stain, a roof leak? Really? Come on.
Yeah.
Get your
Also,
shit together.
this decor is tacky as fuck.
It is. What the
This
hell?
is Airbnb tacky.
Well, that's what I was gonna say about that other place you died in. Like that. That living room looked awesome, you know, and then you died
Yeah,
before
and
we
you
could
just-
really check it out. So
Oh,
we had to
damn.
get back there. That guy scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Where did he come from?
He was, yeah. Where did he come from? Because we just walked through here.
No idea.
It was hiding.
And even
dude.
if you have a marlin hanging on your wall and you don't live in a fucking seafood restaurant, then you're doing things
True.
wrong.
Or you didn't catch that bitch and stuff it. That's the one.
That's true.
exception.
Yeah. Maybe.
I
It
don't
better
know,
be a
dude. You
man
could-
cave. Living room, marlin?
fair.
Nah.
I mean, listen. Don't bring your monogamy into my marlin fishing. Okay, it's fucking.
All right. What about this one?
This door. Oh yeah, this is where. We diced him. Oh, this is locked. We gotta find the key or get around somehow, because that's where the girl in the apartment is, I guess.
What, 1202?
That's
No,
1202.
locate sniper in 1204. That's the
Oh,
important one.
12. Okay. Wasn't there somebody in 1202 we need to find?
No, that was last
No?
time. I think it's
Oh,
different.
okay.
This is 1201. I think we need to circle back.
Oh, I tried to hit fire. I don't know why I tried to hit fire. I'm dead. I'm so bad. I tried to hit fire and I was trying to CSGO it.
Fuck, I'm bleeding out. What? Fuck.
Are you dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of bad. Yeah, we're kind of.
That one, for some reason, we like got less tactical.
Yeah, it's true.
We were going
just kinda-
fast.
we were just yeah. All right, sharpen up.
Yeah.
Phone up.
Sit
sharpen
up.
up.
Sit
Yeah,
up.
Sit up. Quit being on the lazy boy in the 55. Let's
Yep.
go.
I'm doing that thing to my chair where it won't let me lean back anymore. I'm
You're
straightening it
max
up.
lean. Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Talk to high ground. Entry
Let's freaking go.
I'm hungry, dude. I always murder civilians when I'm hungry. My hungry ass could not be a cop.
That guy's still alive.
Get down on your knees, hands up.
I know I'm going really fast right now, but I got 2 of them, 3 of them. It's all coming together. What does my guy have like a, I think I have like a bird hunting shotgun or something like that. He's got like safety tubes in it. I can't load more than like 3 shells.
So I'm dead.
Wait, you died?
I
How?
walked. I heard a distressed lady, right?
Yeah?
And I opened the door.
And?
Blew.
God.
I got blown up hard.
Oh, fuck. Where'd this guy go? Ah! There were so many civilians, dude. I should have just fragged out.
Yeah, you should have just started.
Yeah. Well, I kind of mag dumped on that guy. Did I not hit him once?
Dude, every time I mag dump, it's bad.
Yeah, I forgot the vets also have they have like armored vests. Although
Dude,
a 5.7 should cut right through that.
I didn't expect a fucking bomb. I thought if I just looked, I didn't know if I opened the door. I opened that door and I immediately got blown up. Okay, this is the one.
Suspects have a foothold.
Yeah, I think the shotgun might be the way to go for me.
That's fair.
To proceed with the mission.
Oh yeah, there's always a guy like right here. There you go. Easy.
Yo, keep an eye on that door. There's someone down here. I think I just tagged him.
Got one on the ground. I got one on me. Moving on one.
Hands
Got
up,
one.
Drop to your knees.
How you doing over there, big cat?
There's a guy in the middle of the hallway and I got his hands up. I don't know if he's a bad guy. He looks like he has a fucking armored vest on.
Get on the ground now.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground, dude.
Ground now.
Down.
Hands up. Police, get down.
Talk reporting.
I'm arresting this one, dude.
Drop to
Medical
your knees.
assistance is standing by.
He straight up has an armored vest, dude. This guy has to be bad.
I just handcuffed the guy without an armor vest.
Within them.
Or with one and no gun.
Oh, well, that might explain.
did you just-
Yeah, that might explain why I just got in
You
trouble.
did.
I think I shot his fucking head off.
We got one for challenge.
He's, ah! Oh, that's you. Okay.
Yeah, that's me. Wait, this guy? This guy?
No, that
Oh,
guy's
okay.
definitely bad. I'm talking about this guy down here.
Oh yeah, no, that guy's innocent as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah, that guy was super innocent.
this guy. He has an armored vest. His head is straight up gone, though. They won't be able to figure out if he was bad or good. There's no identifying stuff left on him. He had a gun?
Entry team to talk. We have a civilian down here.
Yeah, he's definitely a civilian.
High ground. Affirmative, entry team.
I think the shotgun might be my bread and butter. Hey, yo, enemy, right here. Other side of this door. Stack up. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna creak this open,
Yeah.
You're gonna unmute. Okay, yeah. Then
I'm
you're
ready.
gonna throw a flash grenade in. All right.
All right. Going
Ready?
over your head. Okay. You're creaking it. Which way?
I'm just.
Your way?
No, I'm just. Oh wait, hold on. I have to open it with a lockpick. I think they know we're coming. They're like, I hear them. All right, ready?
Yep.
All
Yeah,
right,
you
throw one in
creeped it.
there. Throw one in there.
Cash money.
On the ground, move! Fire! Fire!
Fuck you.
Diced.
Dude, bullet went right down the top of his fucking head. Okay, that guy on the other hand,
He's banged.
he's a meanie. Oh, perfect.
him.
Make him.
What's up? Oh, there's another one. I got cocky. I walked up on him getting cocky.
Yeah, dude, there's another one. Oh, fuck.
Oh. I thought it was the hot shit. I thought it was so dope.
fuck.
Mission failed. We no longer
I walked
have
up to
control of
straight
the situation.
BM that guy.
There was a guy as soon as you go into the left, and I think he got you by the bed. We gotta run that back. We
Yeah, we gotta run that back.
yeah, we gotta run that back. And by the way, have I mentioned, like, I don't know if your chat is just lying their asses off to you, but mine are just trying to deceive me
Foothold in this area.
every which way.
Cooperate.
Did you just shoot me?
You are clear.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Like, these people,
Yeah, I see. Now you gotta,
they
you
lie
gotta
up
sing
a
cadence in your
storm.
voice. And I thought for a second, I was like, damn, I sounded like a shotgun that shot me.
it did sound a lot like a shotgun, didn't it?
Okay, dude. I gave you so much benefit of the doubt because I heard the shotgun. I was like, damn, I really got blasted on the way to that guy. But no way it was Sam. There's no way it was Sam. I ruled you out. That's so crazy.
Yeah, I tagged you there a little bit.
Yeah,
And the thing about a shotgun is you really can't tag somebody without blowing off their fucking arms and the back of their head. So,
crazy.
did you
dude.
clear to the left?
Yeah, I went all the way around. Oh my god! And it.
Did you clear to the left? Frag out. Fuck you. Protect and serve, baby.
Tonight on LS News, a horrifying scene down
Talk. Collecting evidence.
themselves as a left behind. Open fire on pedestrians from a penthouse view. Our coverage continues on what
Did I just see a guy?
is a violent response to the recent war veterans funding cut that officials were
High ground to talk. Civilian in critical condition.
Talk to entry team. Medical assistance is standing by.
I'm scared to go out there and check on you.
outlines the demands that the shooters have. Please be warned that this kit may be disturbing to some.
Entry team to talk. We got one fatality. Suspect.
Talk to entry team. Affirmative, entry team.
Ah!
To entry team.
Did you hit the door?
Collect what you can. Report to talk for debrief.
I feel like I know that noise so specifically now. Okay, we were gunning for a second. Now we're digressing hard.
Wait, were you not like... Do you not spectate me after you die?
I didn't that time. I just heard the noise. That time I did not. I heard the noise. I heard your noise, and I assumed it was the safest.
Yeah, what's funny is the thing that was booby trapped was a fucking closet door. Like there's
There's nothing
There's
in
no
there?
need. It was just like, oh, you coming after my J's in my closet? You're getting blown up.
My Supreme Off-White collab? No thanks.
Talk to entry team. Entry team. Suspects have taken
Okay.
refuge in the area.
All right, we cook on this one.
Move in.
We're definitely
what are our
getting quicker. These rounds are getting quicker for sure.
Rescue all the civilians. Sniper rifle 1204. Okay. Oh, guy here.
Chem light out.
Left.
I don't know how he wasn't dead after that, but I got him.
Another one.
Oh, you just took I just watched your head cock back. Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's alive.
I'm banging him. Bad timing.
Oh, you're getting
He
tagged.
didn't get banged. He didn't get banged. I think I got him. I got him. I thought he got banged though, and he didn't get banged. I'm good. I'm a warrior.
Police, get your hands up!
I wear that one fucking clothing company that's like the helicopter repelling. Hold the line or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I drink Black Rifle coffee.
Team to talk.
There's a guy in here to the on.
Two element. Copy that.
Nade out, baby.
Notifying trailers.
What's up, pussy? Oh wait, this is a good guy. Don't shoot him.
You sure? We be. Oh, okay.
Oh, he's still alive. In the hall.
I'm pushing him.
Turn around. I have to cuff you for our safety.
Room service.
Another one.
This guy got his head blown off.
Getting diced up.
I'm gonna restrain him.
Oh my god, the wall bangs, dude. Damn, dude, the AI is so good at wall banging.
Stay calm.
You're doing fine in there, dude. Keep it up.
Yeah, I'm a real American hero.
I got the music producer.
Civilian has been
Oh, I'm tagged. I'm out.
Are you dead?
Yeah, did you die?
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta say something, man. You're the front line in there.
You died right after me. Like,
Oh, okay. I
dropped
was
and then you
securing
immediately
the
died.
music producer, dude. I walked in, saw the SoundCloud rapper. I had to get him out, you know.
Yeah, true. Yeah, precious cargo.
And not only that,
Yeah,
but like
I got wall banged so hard.
I feel like every time I go in, I keep getting, well, not recently, but I have been in the past getting killed by people that then hear the commotion and follow us in. So I was like closing doors and stuff
Oh, smart. That's good.
behind us, because I feel like once we start getting momentum, we fucking cruise, man.
thinking. Yeah, we just gotta get those first couple. We're just playing slot. You know?
Yeah.
We're going right or left.
Right.
At the end of this hall, there's a guy that comes to that door sometimes. That's where we gotta get the sniper. So,
What, in that door?
yeah, 1204.
Here, I'm gonna open this one up.
Dang it.
Eat shit.
Dash.
Oh, fuck!
It
That's
did
a-
look real cool though.
Yeah, that looked fucking awesome.
Look, I had so much confidence in you.
Yeah,
I was like, that was a
we
real
had that.
badass move.
What the
Yeah.
fuck was that? This
Killed
is
us both instantly.
damn, dude. Who would have guessed? These vets are actually good at this shit.
Yeah, dude, they're dangerous.
Yeah,
Entry team, you are cleared to proceed with the mission.
it's like the
Okay.
one group of people you don't want to fuck over. People that are experienced in fucking killing a lot of people, lost limbs and shit. I'm taking out his other legs. I took his head off too. Get a prosthetic for that, dumbass.
I just tap that dude? Oh, I'm nuts. Okay, how do I check for booby traps?
Police, get your hands up!
Is there like a indicator that there's a booby trap on a door?
At the bottom there's a wire.
Okay. Bogey's down.
Okay.
Lead the talk. Suspect is incapacitated.
bleeding out?
Incapacitated.
Not anymore. Unauthorized use of force? You and what, Judge?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Have
sorry.
you seen these guys have killed at least 60 of the same officers tonight.
Yeah.
These guys, they
I'll
deserve
fight for my
everything they
life.
got coming.
Talk. We have a civilian in custody.
Talk reporting.
I'm behind you. I'm in this room.
Entry team to talk.
Whoa, this guy used to have a head. Where'd it go?
Talk reporting. Roger that.
I feel like there's somebody coming for me.
Your mission.
I'm bagging up guns. Are you bagging?
Just work here.
Lead the talk. Civilian restrained and ready for transport.
Talk to entry team. Roger. Trailers inbound.
What? This thing's broken, dude.
What's broken? The taser? Are you trying to
Yeah.
tase him right now?
This guy's, you know, they say sometimes there's people that are untaseable.
Yeah, they
I
just
think
don't have it.
Yeah, this guy might be that guy. Do you have a taser?
I don't.
He's grounded. Yeah, he's got a little lightning rod up his ass.
Oh, guy out here. Oh, I dusted him through the wall because I'm crazy with it.
Yeah, I get jiggy with it.
Yeah,
How'd
I'm a
you
little
know?
raw.
This is talk. Copy.
Okay, 1202's right here.
Wait, I separated because there's a little laundry room around this corner that I found somebody in before, and it scares me that we never clear it. Was that you? Buttchug's been promoted to squad leader. I love a good promotion.
Congrats on your promotion.
Thanks, Doug.
I'm really happy for you. I'm really.
Oh, I just heard a guy.
Get down on your knees, hands up.
Hey, hey!
Oh!
Hands up, do it now.
Jesus, okay, my hands are up.
I have to cuff you for our safety.
Someone's coming to get us, right?
High ground to talk. Civilian good to go for evac.
Talk
Okay,
to
hold
high
on.
ground. Roger, entry team.
Let's
Great
see what we
work.
got here.
Keep going.
Bring order to chaos. It hasn't been checked yet. There's still bad guys afoot. That's why they pay me the big bucks, so I'll get them. Is it alright if I hot mic, Lettuce? I figured it would you'll give narration to the work.
I'm enjoying it.
Alright.
Just don't treat me like Aqua and just not talk to me the whole time. I love that we're ragging on him for this because he's gonna feel so bad because he's such a nice person, and it'll be really.
Oh,
funny.
it's the same lady I almost fucking whipped the car. Imagine getting handcuffed by a cop and then they leave for 2 seconds, come back in and fucking flashbang you and shotgun you in the chest.
I mean, that's probably got to happen a few times.
Yeah. Okay, we went through here initially, right? Yeah. Did you go through here? Is that where you blew up? No, you blew up right there.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there.
What the hell was that? Is he taking a dump? Like a well-oiled machine.
Turn around.
Keep your hands up.
Ooh, wait. I remember this place from last time, baby. Get down! Stop running! Dick!
Down on your goddamn knees now.
Look at this living room. I finally get to see it again. Look at this shit.
Yeah, show me this decor you were talking about.
Look
so
at
much.
this! Look at this!
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Floating, are you kidding me? Come on, make sure I'm safe. Yeah, this like little, I don't like the floating aspect. If I had a little pillar under it, I'd be more inclined to put a big ass Yule log in there. But
Yeah, this is dope. This is
oh,
good.
is that for me? That little grenade? No, that okay.
Stay calm.
Yeah, that's a pimp living room for sure.
Talk. Civilian.
I don't like the TV placement. You're kind of looking around a giant fireplace everywhere you are, but the rest of it's dope.
Element to talk. One suspect down, requesting immediate medical.
Talk to Element. Affirmative. Make them stable.
It's all coming together.
Now!
Lead to talk. Civilian cuffed and ready for trailers.
This is Talk. Great work, entry team. Keep it up.
Entry team to talk. We got a wounded civilian, sending Thames immediately.
Talk to entry team.
All
Roger
right.
that.
Order to chaos. I still haven't killed everybody. How many people did we kill before, you know, you died?
We killed like 3, right?
That's it. Oh, we got a locked boy. Interesting. What are you hiding?
Hands on your head!
Is there any bad guys? You seen any vets recently, buddy? Or are you alone in your little sailor outfit?
Turn around, don't get up.
I'm not into trouble. I used to
High
stop.
ground to talk. Civilian secure.
Fuck! Didn't I just shoot that guy in the dick with a 12 gauge twice? Bring order to chaos failed. Find the retired Navy officer. Well, at least we got that. 6 out of 7 civilians rescued. I was on a hot streak for the good guys. Ah, fuck. Is the backstory really veteran terrorists? Yes, it is. That is exactly what the backstory is. Lettuce, you're muted again.
I was just enjoying your run. I thought you killed that guy.
I thought I did too.
I really thought you did. All right. This has got to be it. This is my last one.
No, there's no way.
No?
No. We do
No?
it until we win it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I got fucking.
So
okay.
if you want to get off for the night, you better fucking buckle up,
Okay,
dude.
all right. Okay. If I got
Use the shield.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Use
all right.
the
Well,
shield.
does
Oh,
the
you
shield
hungry?
protect you against the explosion?
You're losing muscles as we speak, dude. You better
That's what I'm
fucking
saying.
buckle up.
Dude, does the shield protect me against explosions? Because that's what's fucking killing me every fucking game.
I'm going in on that guy.
Yeah, go get that guy.
Come back here, fucker. Ooh, a dick shot on him.
Hands on your head, now!
Bye-bye, fucker.
Okay. I feel like I'm moving way faster than ABS.
Hands
My
up!
hands are up.
All right. Well, I got one, but I'm real
Turn
hurt.
around, keep your hands up.
Okay, I'm restraining a woman. Hold on.
Fuck. There's another one. Never mind. I'm a gunner. I diced
No,
him.
I'm coming.
We're good. I diced him. I diced him. We're
All
good.
right, I'm coming.
Talk reporting. Copy.
2 tangos down.
Move on.
Both veterans. Not a problem.
Talk to high
Ground, now!
Copy, entry team. Proceed with mission.
Bagging the guns. Bagged.
Bagged and tagged. All right, I'm coming
Bagged.
through into the hallway where you are.
Talk
Yeah, you
to
see me?
entry team.
Wait.
Copy that, entry
What's
team.
up?
I hear somebody.
Notifying morgue.
Okay, I found 1202. Do we need 1202 this time?
I think there's someone down here to the right.
Sniper in 1204.
Hands up above your head!
I can't see shit, dude. Why is there so much glare inside with a shield? What you doing, bellboy?
Stay calm.
He's covered in blood, too. He's been shot.
I just carry.
Lead the talk. Civilian is in custody, requesting escort.
All right, I got a civvy.
Reporting. Copy. Move on.
Okay, my pistol don't shoot through the door, but this dude shoots through the door. That's crazy.
It happens sometimes, man. That's just how it is. I'm coming. I'm coming. I don't know how you're covering so much ground. Are you just running a big circle and not going in at any of the apartments?
I was going 1202, and I'm dead because I was firing through the door, and then then nothing happened, and then I got shot, dude. These veterans are just too
High
good.
ground to talk.
Officer down, I say again, officer
Oh, this is
down.
you? This is 1204. You got shot through this door?
Yeah.
Continue with your mission.
After I was shooting through that door.
Oh, look
And
at
then
that.
they're just
Tripwire.
better.
Tripwire. You thought you were dead either way, man.
But was there really one on the other side of that door?
Look. See it?
Securing the device.
Not on
Damn.
my
Okay, I
watch.
see it now. I see it now. Okay, I see it now. I see it now.
What? Where? It's fine.
This one's a wash.
Did you even see that guy? Where'd I get dice
I
from?
have no. You got dice. I could not tell you. I could not tell you where. I could not tell you where
Fuck.
at all.
God, I can almost hear your tummy rumbling.
Shut the fuck up.
What do you
It's
want
not
for dinner?
even here yet. Okay.
What do you want for dinner, big boy?
Don't you worry. Okay. I want the dead carcasses of veterans. That's what I want for dinner.
Suspects have a foothold in this area and
Okay.
they're refusing to cooperate.
Okay. What we're gonna do is stop. Come back here. Okay. We are going to be together, side by side. I won't shoot you in the back,
Yeah. Okay.
and we're gonna clear room after room. We're gonna come out here. We're gonna take a right. We're gonna go to the first room on the right.
Okay.
We're gonna clear it. Then we're
Okay.
gonna leave that one. Go to the
Okay.
next door on the right. Clear
All
that
right.
one. Next door on the right. Next door
Okay.
on the
All
next door on the
right.
right.
All right.
Until we're all the way through.
Okay. That's all you had to say. Cleared left. Clear.
Okay. I'm gonna open this.
Godspeed.
Grenade out. Fuck. All right, going in. I can't see a damn thing. Can you close that door behind you once you come in?
I got your back.
Hands up!
Okay.
Go.
This one usually has some bad guys in it. I'm
I got
going in.
nothing.
I'm going into this bathroom here. Fuck, dude! What the hell? It's a bathroom. Why would they put a tripwire on a bathroom door?
They just don't learn, dude. They never learn. These rookies,
They
come to me
never
every
learn.
year, dude.
They don't learn. All right, I stay learning. Okay, I learned that you can put those on bathroom doors too.
We're gonna go room by room together, side by side. Take our time.
Down!
Talk reporting. Copy that, entry team. Notifying trailers.
Suspect is down. Requesting assistance.
Talk reporting. Roger that.
Wait, did a veteran die in there because of me?
No, you're good. They're both alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Stay here.
Everybody's alive but you.
What are you doing?
A noble
keep-
sacrifice.
I keep forgetting to check. By the way, I'm not doing it on purpose.
What? Oh no, I trust.
Yeah, the
I
trip
immediately
wires.
forget. I immediately. Yeah, I've never. Yeah, no way you do that on purpose. That sucks. Yeah, no,
That
there was
was-
not a thought in my mind that. Yeah, you're good.
No, there's some guy in chat. He's like, "Why aren't you checking for the wires?" It's
I
like,
just forget, dude.
it's not that I forget. It's like the tiniest wire too.
Yeah,
You better check
it's a
this
high
one.
tense situation.
Yeah. There's like 58 doors you gotta go through. I'm not checking every single one. That one could have blown up on you.
Oh, if I open the door.
Yeah, if you just
blows-
open it instead of peeking. Oh!
Tango down.
I keep forgetting to lean too. The lean's really good in this. You can seriously do some.
Yeah, I'm bagging and tagging him.
High ground to talk. Suspect is deceased.
Talk to high ground. Roger, entry team. Notifying medical.
Okay.
These guys definitely watch Chip and Joanna Gaines. They
Oh,
have
is
that.
this? No.
Turn around. Don't get
They have that
him.
exterior siding on the inside of the house.
True.
Shiplap siding everywhere. God.
They don't care anymore.
My fucking
Yeah,
in-laws
no
are into
wire.
that lady.
Talk to element. Roger.
The-
Trailers inbound.
Ooh.
I love a standing shower, bro.
I like a standing shower, but I don't like the ones that don't have a door.
What do you mean? Oh, like
that one's just like a
Yeah,
it's just like
you gotta
like
have
a cave, and you know it doesn't matter how hot the water gets. It's not that. It's like the cold. Like that bathroom's so big, you're not gonna steam up the entire room enough for it to ever be comfortable outside the water. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, they suck. You're right. Here's a sniper.
Collecting evidence.
Okay, so that's done.
I like the glass door to be there, so it at least like keeps in the steam. And then when you're not under the shower head, it's still warm.
Bring order to chaos. I don't know what the.
That means kill every veteran. Ooh, there.
Turn around.
Oh, this is the guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a musician.
Yeah. Yeah, put him face dirt in the puddle.
Yeah, dude, drink the water.
You in custody.
It's kind of a cool wallpaper in that bathroom.
Copy. Move
Okay.
Oh, let me check these. Okay, so you have the sniper rifle. You found the music producer. You found the retired Navy officer. Now you need to arrest 3 suspects. And you need to bring order to chaos.
Yeah.
I think... I think you need to do the hard room, which is the central room. Which would be the one to your left.
Yeah, that one. Okay, I'm gonna clear the side ones first because that's like.
Dude, you are going hungry tonight. You are going so fucking hungry.
Fucking step with that one, dude. Oh my god.
Damn. I hope you got a big jar of that fucking sand you eat next to you, because you ain't gonna eat none of that dinner.
I still, when you walked out of the kitchen at the Airbnb and you were like, "Who brought all the sand?" I'll never forget that.
It looked like a fucking like a geology collection or something. It was like a sand collection. I've never seen so many different Tupperwares with different powders. I didn't realize it was
mostly the same.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay. It's pre-workout, creatine, mass gainer, and protein powder. So I guess there's 4 different kinds. You're not crazy. Okay, try not to die to a fucking door this time. Unlike me, die to a fucking door. This shit is so jarring too. Every time it.
Yeah, it scares the hell out of me.
Got him.
All right, I'm lockpicking this door.
2 down.
Got it.
Cured.
Okay.
No tripwire. Blast it.
Wait. Did you grenade it?
Yep.
In there?
Yeah.
Oh, no, get in there! Open! Someone in the bathroom to the right?
I think that's the music producer.
No, to the right. You're the right. Yeah, in there. There's someone in there. I heard him walking.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yep.
Got him?
Yep.
Oh, he
Good.
fell over the lady with
He
his
did.
little prosthetic
He
leg.
got fucking cow tipped, dog.
Oh! Got him in the arm.
Talk to high ground.
Okay.
Copy, entry team. Proceed with mission.
Wow, these guys are completely flabbergasted when they see a riot shield. They don't know what to do.
Talk to
Hands
entry
up
team.
now!
Great work, entry team. Keep it up.
Okay, close the door behind us. Oh,
Incapacitated.
Talk to element. Copy. Clean house, and we'll take them out.
Was that you that,
I got him.
Okay. All right. Bagged.
This isn't the musician this time. God damn it.
Wait, incapacitated. Does that mean he could theoretically get up?
Yeah, I think so, right? You got to put one in his head.
Yeah. Well, I put him in handcuffs, but yeah, in the head would be.
Yeah. Is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I assume so because of the shotgun, but I got a little worried the way you were moving.
Element to talk.
You're moving like a
We have
bot.
a dead suspect here.
I gotta grab the sniper. Sniper's over here.
Notifying trailers.
Yeah, got the sniper.
I'm moving different, man.
Got that circadian rhythm. Pussy smell like a Hellcat V8. Fucking kill you, you piece of shit.
Okay.
Every time I go through a door and I realize I forget to check it, I think I'm
Toast. If it makes you feel any better, if the door's already open, chances are you're pretty good.
true.
I'm getting the shield back out. I feel like the shield is the key to my success.
Hands up! Get down!
All right, I'm gonna check this door
Don't move. Stay
by doing a peek.
Peek it.
We're good.
I have nothing to do with anything!
Entry team to talk.
LSPD,
Civilian was
don't
trained
move!
And ready for transport.
Talk to Element. Copy,
Down
entry
on
team.
your goddamn
Notifying
knees
trailers.
now!
I don't know how you turned on that flashlight, but boy, I'd like
It's
to know.
mouse button too.
I don't.
Like one of the side mouse buttons. Is what it
Oh,
was.
I don't have one of those.
Oh, you
I have
don't
like an
any button?
I have like an MMO mouse.
Oh, then just try any of the buttons. It's got to be the second one, right?
No, that's just 2, like on my keyboard.
Do you have like buttons that aren't numbers?
No.
No. Okay. Do you have like a Naga? What do you use?
Yeah.
Like a G502 or whatever.
Yeah, it's a G500 or G502. Yeah.
Crazy.
How do you know product names for mice, you dork? You fucking nerd.
Listen, dude, it's like one of the most popular mice in the world. That's not
I'm
that
about to,
crazy of a call
I'm about to give you a fucking wedgie.
Okay, dude.
Is that a Corsair scimitar?
Hey, dude. Yeah, all right, dude.
Where's
Fuck
that
me,
Naga?
dude.
Oh.
Okay, dude. This seems unnecessary.
Get down now!
MMO mouse, Chad. Yeah, honestly, I like the MMO mice because I can edit with one hand without
that's
using 2
sick.
hands.
Talk report.
That's actually sick.
I just
Roger that.
put everything, keybind everything to the mouse so I can have my left hand down my fucking pants.
True.
Right hand's just editing up a storm.
Okay, saying "oh shit," is that a GTVX? If you call out monitors, that's way different. That's way different. That's not the same.
Monitors that's next level.
That's real cringe shit. Yeah, there's shot. Okay, I'm banging.
Oh wait. Yeah, there's definitely. Did you get in there?
Yeah, that was cash money.
Kick that shit open. I can't. I got the shield. All right, I'm going in. He should be to the left. It's usually where he is. I'm checking
Nope.
bathroom.
All clear in here. Sniper rifle, good to go.
There's no way there's not a guy in here. I mean, is he under the bed? No.
Okay, no wire. Oh, through here.
Where?
Far side, got him.
Okay.
He hurt me up a little bit, but I'm good. I'm fresh.
I'm closing this
Put your
main
fucking
door.
hands up, down on your knees, hands
I'm going
up!
shield.
Just close this. Close this. There we go.
Got another one. Oh man, there's a third on me through the windows. I gotta back up. He's through the
Back up.
windows. He's outside. He's
Back up.
outside. He's outside.
I never cleared that bathroom in there, but.
You're good. He's outside.
Oh no!
Oh,
Where is he?
got him.
Oh, I think you killed a civilian too.
No.
No, that did not happen.
He definitely did that. That wasn't me. No, not me.
Element to talk. Suspect is down.
No, they both had guns. There's
Okay.
two guys. Yeah, we're good.
All right, make sure to clear for the trip mines. I saw a lot of
Yep.
doors back there, and I know
Yep,
you're going to
yep,
be
yep,
slapping
yep.
doors.
Yep.
Proceed with your mission.
Dead suspect here.
Oh wait.
To entry team.
Did this
Wait,
guy
there's
have a
one
gun?
right here.
Notifying morgue.
Tripwire right here on me.
Oh, I see one too.
No, stop! What are you
Is that
doing?
you? Is that you?
Yeah.
Oh, we see the same tripwire.
Yeah,
I
this-
see that. I see that. I see
You know
that.
what? Should we just not even? I'm going to do it just because I don't want it to fuck us up in the future. I'll
Yeah.
forget. I'll
Yeah, that's
forget.
super fair.
Okay. Now I can kick it open with impunity. That one's hard to see. Okay, so I never checked this room back here. And now this door's closed and it kind of makes me scared. Did you close this?
No, I'm in bathroom right now.
Are you sure you didn't close? Did you close this?
Maybe? I don't think so, though. I don't remember closing that.
Oh my god. Why would you?
Good? You
Oh, I actually popped my knee up into my desk and hurt my knee in real life.
good? Did you scare yourself into your desk?
This guy came running through the door. I shot this guy. I'm sorry.
Leave the talk. We lost a civilian. Repeat, civilian killed.
Yeah, I tagged him right in his fucking leg.
Affirmative, entry team.
This place has me weirded out, dude. There's no vets in here. There's always vets in here.
Yeah, I think we're good in here, though. We got both the snipers. We just gotta find the music producer and bring order to chaos.
Okay.
Which I think,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Maybe did you already clear the middle?
No, I haven't yet.
Killing at least 3 and injuring many others.
I'm so sick. I can't believe I killed that dude. Oh, fuck.
Element to talk. Civilians down but breathing. Notify Thames.
Did you go in the middle room?
Yeah, I diced some dude up. Oh, bring order to chaos is done. I think that's killing everybody.
Oh, we got everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, now
So
we just gotta
the
find.
music producer, yeah.
Oh my god, you are gonna eat tonight.
I'm gonna eat, dude.
You're gonna eat, baby. You can get
Incredible.
yourself some extra dumplings or whatever the hell you're having.
Okay. You're not wrong. We
Mr.
gotta-
Music Producer.
Oh, that's you, huh? I just opened that without even fucking checking for tripwire. Okay, he's not in the laundry room.
Police, down on the ground! Get on the ground now!
I've already been
Get
here,
down, I
but
wanna
you
see
give this
hands.
place another comb.
Entry team to talk. Civilians bleeding out.
Do you still play League, by the way? Oh, no fucking way.
That was super close to me. Oh, yo. I know something horrible just happened to you, but I just feel like telling you I just got promoted.
I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, this is such a huge
I looked
opportunity.
at the
for me.
bottom of the door. I didn't see anything. I'm so. Was it on the other side?
It's a wire, dude. You gotta look for a wire.
There was no wire. It had to be on the other side. Do you have to like creep it open and see if there's a wire at the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I just thought it was on the other side. So I just been.
No, it's not always on
Oh,
your
okay.
side.
Yeah, see, I didn't see the wire, so I just was like, nah, it's good.
Copy. Clean house, and we'll take them out.
Damn, it's okay. You clutch this. You clutch this. You clutch this. I've seen you clutch this. You're a clutch god.
Well, there's nothing more to do except for just find a guy, right? And not get blown up. I can do that. Mr. Music Producer, I found your apartment. We got records on the walls.
Start singing. You know, he'll sing back. He's like a mockingbird.
I can't think of a song. I think you put me on such a spot.
Yeah?
I literally cannot think of one song.
A few times I've been around that track.
School, I've been like that, man. Ain't no holler back, girl.
There you go. You
I
take
ain't no
something.
holler back, girl. Few times been around that track and I'm back to school. I've been like that. Ain't no holler back, girl. Is this him? Hey, what's up, buddy?
There you go.
He did sing back.
Not here for you.
See? Little Gwen Stefani fixes everything.
Yeah.
That's my
Leave
shit.
the talk. We have an individual in custody.
Talk to entry team. Great
Now
work,
what?
entry team.
I
Rescue
think
all the
that's it.
civilians.
Well, we failed that
Yeah.
because you shot one.
Arrest 3
Not me.
suspects.
Failed.
In the mission, vote yes.
Yeah.
As squad leader, I'm going to say yeah.
Yeah, we fucking did it, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Oh,
good.
very nice room. You had a little streamer room back there. Oh, man.
Oh, that was like 2 tries. That was really impressive.
Yeah. First
Yeah.
try. First
Honest-
try,
Yeah,
incredible.
I don't think anybody's ever done. That might be world record pace. We cleaned that up a little bit.
Yeah, we cleaned up.
Yeah, that was kind of
Have you ever
Wasn't-
seen that video of like, it's not SEAL Team 6. It might be like Army Rangers or something like that, clearing a house
I don't.
they're like raiding a house, and it's like how fast they're clearing it. I thought that they would go in like this, you know, where there's like
it's pretty
walking in,
smart.
clearing.
No,
Dude,
they
those
swing,
guys
dude.
sprint.
Yeah.
Those guys are
Oh
sprinting.
yeah. Yep. It's crazy.
He pulls in on like, I forget what the fuck he even rolls up on. It's like some vehicle just gets off at a full sprint, and they're just running in there. I guess it's because those guys, even if they're like they have a gun on the bedside table, they don't even have enough time to get it out
They're not even
and
giving
pull
him a
the slide
second, right?
back when you hear them busting the bottom floor.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen the specific video you're talking
We'll
about, but
love
yeah,
this
it's
game.
insane.
Hope as well, Samuel.
It's Delta. They're dummy fast. Okay, yeah, Delta Squad. Clearing's a fast process. I like that a lot more than when SWAT just comes in from all the windows on ropes and everything at the same time.
Yeah, it's not.
Although that
near as
is
cool.
funny, but just like running through a building with a submachine gun super
full
quick
sprinting,
is awesome.
just like gun in face, see
Yeah.
gun in hand, kill.
I think we did good. There's no high
did
fives
good.
in this game, but we'll imagine.
Yeah, man, bam.
Awesome. All
Yeah.
right, well, it was good talking to you. Go have your
Yeah, dude.
din-dins.
I'm gonna go have my din-dins. Fucking yeah, hit me up to play anything, dude. Fucking, I don't know if you're still playing League, but I've been League itch lately.
Oh,
Doing it real
we
toxic.
were playing you know the is it Arena?
Is that
the
the 2v2v2?
Yeah, the 2v2s. We had a
Yeah.
full custom game of that.
Oh, see, I'm so in on that. Please hit me up. If
Yes.
you do. I would love
That's
that
so much
shit.
fun. Where everybody, you know, every single person in the lobby. That's a
Yeah,
blast.
that would be super fun for sure.
All
All right, have a good
Have
night,
a good
dude.
one. Later. What a guy. What a cool guy. Damn. That was fun. Damn. Yeah, that was good times. I wasn't expecting that to be as hard of a mission. I was thinking we would go through like 5 or 6 of them or something. Shit. Yeah, I received a hype train medal emote. That's awesome. Papa Seizure, thanks for the resub for 6 months, and Super Sweet Live, thanks for the sub. Co's XX, thanks for the sub. Ducky FTW, Jonesy Boy, Bryn, JG from the Northwest, thanks for the subs. Username, thanks for the sub. Mammed. I miss these. These are like 30 minutes old. I was busy killing army vets. They had the audacity to like want timely health care or something. I don't know. I wasn't too busy shooting them to listen to their plight. But you know what I should have done was try to blow off one of their prosthetic legs and see like what does that even do? Like could I shotgun? Because you can shotgun off one of their regular legs. But can you blow off a prosthetic leg and then they just sit on the floor and go like, "Aw, you knocked my leg off." That would have been cool. But anyways, I'm getting out of here. It was nice seeing you guys.
Less than
Nice
3.
little stream. I am going to say there's been some people throwing some mean, angry things towards me. Something about, "Oh, Sam, you have a 4090 and it's just been sitting in your closet for 6 months. You suck. You're dumb." I tried putting it in and it wouldn't work. Well, right now, I have a new power supply on its way to my house so I can put it in my computer and use my 4090 and then I can stream not at low settings and it'll look pretty.
Replaceable legs.
I'm hoping I'll have that done in like a month or whatever, however long it takes me to put together the thing. The wires are so complicated. Building PCs, that's like, I have to pull out the soldering gun or whatever. Just seems complicated. Anyways, I'm not gonna send nobody the 4090. Poob kind of laid down the gauntlet. He was like, "Look, if I'm coming over to your house in the spring, if you still have that 4090, I'm putting it in my suitcase and going home with it. Okay, so it has to be in that computer by the time I get there." And I was like, "All right, I'll do it." Yeah. Oh yeah, there's the Hunt Showdown got a new update. I should probably play that. There's a katana now. That could be something. A little katana action. Sam, would you rather have sex with a man or my dead mom? A man? Easy. Yeah. Next. Next question. What else you got? You got any other easy ones like that? This guy's asking about a Hogarth vid. You like the Kinchi sweater? Huh? Huh? Full ass Kinchi sweater? This thing rocks. All right. I'm hopping out of here. Why don't you have a VOD channel? I already got 2 channels, dude. I already got the fucking stupid podcast. I got the fucking 2 channels. But I don't feel like having another one. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. I will stream some Hunt or play some Hunt. Trust. Do you still talk to Chud? I was looking at your old vids and he was funny as hell. No, I don't, but he was really funny because he's had like a cartoon voice. And I just love anybody that has like a funny voice. Yeah, Chud, I don't know what Chud's up to now. He was always kind of like, he was like nice to me, but some people like I would leave and they would be like, Chud's mean to me. So I think he was kind of an abrasive guy. I get the feeling. I always liked him. I didn't have a problem with him, but yeah, Raid. Oh yeah, Raid. Let's see. I need to find somebody at Raid. Why munch here? Let's see. Who to raid? All these losers are playing Rust. Devin's playing Rust. Welland's playing Rust. Z-Chump's playing Rust. Toothy's playing Rust. Omid's playing Rust. Is there anybody doing anything cool? Sasha Gray's offline. Huh. Toast Rack is available. Raid an art channel? Oh, fuck yeah. Let's go browsing for art. What do we got here? Search art. Art. Oh, yeah, because they can do nudity now, right? Oh, so would that be creative? A creative section? Art. Draw some fucking. Let's find some guys drawing fat titties. We got some. Fuck you. There's some guys. First thing I see. We got some thumbnail work to do now, and then maybe later I might draw some lewds. Fuck you. I want nudes. I want somebody to be drawing spread pussy when I raid their channel. Oh, this lady's drawing some fat titty stuff. Hold on. This might be the one. Yep. Boing. Perfect. Yeah, I'm just gonna drop you off on some so you guys can perv out. Raid. How do you say this? Canini? Does that work? Bingo. Raid Kanini. Yeah, she's just drawing some fat titty anime stuff. Anyways, you go be nice to her. Perv out to that. And I'll see you guys on the flippity dip. Later, Gators.